So starting this video a little bit differently. Uh, Basically, the reason I'm prefacing this video is we know our sense of humor. You may not. We know when we're trolling each other. You may not. This video does get playfully heated. And it does so intentionally. And I just wanted to let you know that all of it is in jest. All of it is just based on our own sense of humor. It looks like we're having an argument. We're really not. Mostly. We're actively trolling each other. We're actively poking and prodding at each other's movies and options to try and get a rise out of each other. It's all intentional, and none of it was taken seriously by us. Um, Honestly, if you get triggered by some of our movie options or our views on movies, then we've done something right in this video. That's the whole purpose of this. We're throwing out our own honest, unpopular opinions. We're not lying about our opinions, but it's there to trigger. It's there to provoke conversations. That's all. Wanted to preface that with this. In short, have fun. Regardless of whether you agree with our picks or not, let us know what your favorite Christmas movies are down in the comments below. But ultimately, we hope you enjoy. And thank you in advance for hearing us out.
I'm happy and ready to go.
All right. So,
All right, you ready, Kami?
Caps Lock.
I'm going to prove you're a piece. You're a piece of shit, and I'm going to prove it to you mathematically.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Hear Us Out. I am your host, Kamilian, and I am joined by two of my Christmas-loving friends and one Grinch who is trying to pretend to love Christmas. I don't know who is who, but I do know their names. In no particular order, we have Tegan, Rem, and Matt.
Hello.
And I'm going to point out, I love the beard. It is glorious. And Tegan, your headphones, the white by chance, just goes really well with the hat.
Thank you.
It is glorious. And Mitch?
Not by chance for shit. That was
Mitch,
all planned.
Mitch is here.
Yes.
I
made an attempt.
And hello, Ginger, in the chat. Don't forget the actual Grinch in the chat. Yes. Alrighty, so today, naturally, being this close to Christmas, we're going to debate our favorite Christmas movies. And by the end of this stream, which is approximately just under 2 hours from now, we're going to attempt, as a group, have a top 5.
And
that's the goal.
The magical Christmas Land version of that is we agree on an order for a top 5.
Yes, that is the best case scenario. That is the best case scenario. Now I have a couple of things ready for an immediate rebuttal. This is going to get fiery very quickly. I tried to tell everyone flat out on all the announcements that this is going to get spicy. Whether they believe me or not, I don't know. But anyway, who would like to kick us off with one of their favorite movies, Christmas movies?
Go on, Bobblebeard. You start.
I'm starting on my. All right. I'm actually just quickly getting up a note to
your current list of top 5.
No, I'm gonna make sure I've got space for the entire everybody. My top 5 I had written ages ago, and now I've just got to find where I put it. All right, first favorite Christmas movie of all time, and part of it's because it does actually span other holidays as well. It's got to be the obvious one: Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. It's got music, it's got Halloween, it's got Jack Skellington and Sally, the best love story that's ever been told in a movie. What is not to love, guys?
Look, you had me right up until the best love story. Look, granted, it's a better love story than Twilight, but
it ain't hard.
No, I know it's a low bar, but
that is a ridiculously low bar.
The best love story? I mean, he ignores her the whole way through the movie, pretty much. Apart from the whole, oh, by the way, I need you just for a very specific task that anyone could do, but you're here and you made eye contact, so off you go.
I would disagree on that. It's yeah, you're right. He does ignore her all the way through the start of the movie, and sort of sees her as a background thing. But part of that is her character's doing as well. Like she's written as a very introverted and withdrawn, or not even withdrawn. So that's probably not fair, but um, she's written as a very sort of in the background sort of character, but they've brought her to the forefront. Her whole personality is she sits in the background. She doesn't want to be the main story. Her whole thing, like Jack, is bigger than life. Like his goals, his aspirations are so big that that's what he aims for. But hers is so much more focused in on just him. And he ends up realizing that she was right all along. So, it's basically mine and Tegan's marriage.
What, you ignore her for the good first 8/10 of it?
Hey, I knew Tegan for what, 3 years before we got together?
That is accurate.
Oh,
No,
well.
they're like yin and yang. They balance each other out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
fair. That's pretty sweet.
Mhm.
Mitch, any thoughts? Or are you in the middle of something?
Sorry,
No, you're right.
parents coming in and distracting.
All good. All good.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I essentially heard up until she is a background character, and yes, I do 100% agree. They did write all that very well. For a top Christmas movie, while it is a Christmas movie, I feel it has much more to do with Halloween side of things, even though he is trying to get away from that.
I was about to say, it's literally him taking Christmas and doing it his own way.
It occurs
Yeah.
on Christmas.
Oh, trust me, I do agree it is one. It's just, I will freely admit, it's not in my top 5.
It is
Not
one
in
of
top
my absolute
5.
favorite. Wow.
Oh,
I'm
it is
disappointed.
one of my favorite movies. It's just not one of
One
my
of your favorite
favorite
Christmas
movies.
And that's why we're here. Look, I know where Tegan stands. We'll come to you in a moment. Forgive me. The Night Before Christmas for me is in my top 5 for Christmas movies. Yeah, it wasn't there for a long time for me because I studied it in year 7 for an elective subject. So I had watched it to death.
There is no such thing as watching that movie to death.
I'd watched the first half of it to death because that's all we studied. We never got to see the ending, and it just frustrated me. And as a 12-year-old
Oh, yeah, that's
child,
great, anyone.
yeah, as a 12-year-old child, watching the first half, literally we watched up until the first time he returned from what, Christmas Town. That was it.
Wow, that is major blue balls for movies.
Yeah.
You did
And
not get the third act.
exactly, but no. Going back through it and everything, it's absolutely glorious. Love it. The constant songs throughout it. Normally with musicals, if there's constant songs, it annoys me to a degree, depending on the movie. Like Spirited on Apple TV Plus right now, not great. But looking at, say, The Greatest Showman or That Before Christmas, constant songs, love it. But anyway, enough of that. I've said I love it. Tegan,
I hate it.
yeah.
No. I couldn't keep a straight face. I absolutely love Nightmare Before Christmas. I loved it when it first came out as a kid, so it's very much got that nostalgia quality for me. I don't love how overused it is in pop culture these days. I think that's what's killing it, because it's just getting a bit too much. Don't get me wrong. Do I own a lot of that pop culture stuff that's currently popular?
Yes.
Yes, I do. But it's I don't know. I feel a bit old when I say stuff like that, but it's like with anything, like the DBZ stuff, Kami, when that came out, what, 5 years ago, is really popular. People wearing shirts and stuff that have never seen it, have no idea. And I just get a bit frustrated because I feel like
They're jumping
actual
on the bandwagon.
story, bandwagon, thank you. It's very much jumped on the bandwagon, but I feel like in that the essence of the beautifulness of the story gets lost.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly the way you reacted to Matt saying it's the greatest love story ever. You know, people don't see it for what it was written for, and it's not a love story, really. It's actually not. It's
The
about
movie barely ever
Jack.
even got made. You know, I'm assuming you know the turmoil with Burton and Disney at the time.
Yeah.
It almost got made out of spite.
And the fact that they have been pushing him to make a second and he flat out refuses. He has just flat out refused. It will not happen, and he
because
won't
it doesn't need it.
because it doesn't need it, because it will destroy the
Yeah.
first
It
story.
is a perfectly
For him-
confined story.
That's right. For him, it is about the story. So I will just say I do have one gripe with all the bandwagon of pop culture that's coming out. I get really frustrated that Jack always looks like Jack, and I love that. But they always change Sally to Disneyify her, manga her, anime her,
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
change her from the plain Jane, ordinary person that she was to make her somehow grander. And that is a bugbear of mine with that movie, and it's not the movie's fault. But I'm
Yeah.
keeping a list, so that is movie number 1.
Yeah. No, that's fair. So I'm pretty okay. So we got that out of the way. Oh, comment from Ginger: fandom is fandom. Don't fucking gatekeep.
I'm not gatekeeping. How am I gatekeeping?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's targeting you with that. I think it might be a general statement, but I'm assuming.
I am 100% with Tegan on this. Like, and this is the thing. It's like, yeah, Jack was always portrayed as the, like, you know, Mr. Popular, Mr. Louder Than Life, whereas her character was that, you know, sort of the almost like the nerdy girl, like, for lack of a better term.
No, I can see that. Yeah.
But yeah, everything out there, like even so many tattoos I look at, because Tegan and I talked about getting matching tattoos, like a pair of tattoos, and every tattoo design you look at for Sally, 99% of them, it's, as Tegan said, it's Disneyified. Like, she's, you know, all made up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah, they change her. They change her shape. They change the shape of her face, her eyes. They pull in her cheekbones. They give her these massive hips and this massive big bust. Watch the movie. If you were actually a fan of the movie, you'd be horrified with that as well, because it takes away from the essence of her character as well.
To use your
By
own
turning her
example
into this.
before, to like use Dragon Ball Z as an example, they do the same thing with almost all the figures. Like I've always got like 24 Dragon Ball Z figures to my left over here, and all of them are male characters. Not because I don't like the female characters. The female characters in Dragon Ball Z are fucking amazing. I don't have those figures because they are all overly
wrong.
sexualized.
Yep.
Yep.
And
I mean,
I'm not buying into that.
That's pretty common with anime in general, but yeah, it's still.
I mean,
I
like
get what
relating
you're
it back
saying
to
there.
what Tegan's saying, like they change things up for the pop culture.
I go into EB and I'm like, yeah, I want to buy some, Nightmare Before Christmas stuff because I love it. It's one of my favorite movies. And I don't, because Sally doesn't look like Sally.
Yeah.
She looks like somebody else. So why would I want that?
Yeah.
And that just frustrates
She
me.
looks like a girl doing a Halloween dress up costume of Sally. There's Sally, there's sexy Sally.
Yeah. But even their normal Sally doesn't look like Sally.
No,
They've still had to beautify her and whatever to her, and it just pisses me off, because it does take away from the actual story of what the movie's trying to show.
The thing that I've noticed looking at the figurines for Sally, a lot of them actually shrink down her eyes slightly to give her much more of a round, like more of a actual angular face to make it look more Disneyish. Whereas if you actually have a look at any of the pictures of her in the movie, her eyes take up nearly half her face, and that's because you're meant to fucking focus on them. She shows so much emotion through her eyes, and they don't fucking use it on any of the miniatures.
The dress is essentially a potato sack, straight up and down.
Yep.
And every figurine, it's tight, it's fitted, it's given her an hourglass body. Yeah.
Anyway, to be the devil's advocate, for lack of better terminology, pretty sure we all agree, for the most part, on Nightmare Before Christmas as one of our group favorite Christmas movies.
Yep.
So is it okay if we step on? And
Yeah,
potentially come back to it? Yep. Is that all right?
We can argue why it's number one later.
Exactly, yeah. So, because I'm sure we got a big list to go through, and we're already 15 minutes in.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I say 15 minutes, but that doesn't include the intro.
Mm-hmm.
We usually go about 2 hours, 5 minutes. But anyway, What the hell? Let's just go anti-clockwise. Tegan.
I'm gonna drop an easy one early on. Love Actually. Oh, the dead
Mhm.
silence is scary.
That's really disappointing from you guys.
Love Actually is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Um, it's just got everything. It just has everything. It's got
Oh.
every possible romantic storyline you could ever want. It's just one of those. What you want from a Christmas movie is happy, fuzzy feels, and that's what it gives you for the most part,
I don't want a
with a
crappy
dose
rom-com.
of reality. It is a rom com. It is a Christmas. It
But the
is
thing is,
the Christmas rom com.
the thing I
I
like
will
about it, right, is it? I'm
Mm.
sorry, Ren.
Oh, sorry, I'm just saying I'm going to stay out of this one because I will 100% admit I have never watched it.
Whoa! You must be one of very few people.
I was forced to watch it with one of my exes. I do not remember it.
Oh,
Okay,
I remember
so
not
first,
liking it. I don't remember what was in it. I don't remember the story. All I remember is how I felt about it, and I didn't like it. That's all I remember.
okay,
I
so
don't
first
remember
things
why.
first, you guys both need to go and watch it because it is fucking amazing. I hate rom-coms, right? Like I can't stand them. I don't do the
Mm.
I laugh at Tegan watching tacky Christmas movies, but I actually enjoy Love Actually. It's my guilty pleasure that no one outside of us four and whoever watches this stream will know about.
he does. He watches it with me
I
every
do. I
year
watch it with her every
and
year. Like,
genuinely enjoys it.
yeah, like normally when Tegan puts like, if Tegan puts like a crappy, like a Hallmark movie, Christmas movie on, right? I'll sit out there with her, like I might be painting out there and I'll have my earbuds on, I'll be watching something on my phone. When she puts Love Actually on, I actually watch Love Actually. Because it's a feel good movie. Like it's and it
Okay.
gives you that warm, happy, fuzzy closing
Just
at
for a
the end
quick
of it.
overview, so it's just about a group of people, and they're all connected in different ways. So they all sort of know each other, but not everybody knows each other. And it's about different stages of people's relationship. So you've got a very well established marriage with 2 children doing the family juggling children schedule thing. You've got a stepfather whose wife has just died, so now he's a widow. You've got a young couple who's just fallen in love and gotten married. You've got a couple who are literally just meeting and starting to date. You've got this single guy who adds an element of comedy. But all of them are faced with real world situations. So, he's a widow because his
Except the
wife
young
died.
single guy.
That's right. Is this like multiple just small stories?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
they
they're
all
all
like
connected.
very loosely meshed together as well.
They're all connected together.
I think that's why I didn't like. I'm just not a fan of that.
That style.
It should have been a TV series. That's the case.
No, there's not enough in it to be a TV series. What I
Well, then
like
it just
about it
shouldn't
is
have been
how
made.
you're getting a snapshot of these stories. I think he plays the prime minister, for goodness sakes. Like, and there's funny elements to it.
But-
So, the singer, the old rock and roll singer storyline, I absolutely love that. Makes me crack up each time.
But well, that's the whole thing. Is it's called Love Actually, but it's not just about like a man and a woman loving each other. Like, and it's not like trying to be woke and everything, but it's like the dad trying to love his son and help his son and support his son after his wife died. The rock star loving his manager, like
The
realizing
husband
that he
cheats on his wife. It's all real
yeah.
world situations that actually happen in people's lives.
Okay, so my question, coming from someone who doesn't remember the storyline or plot at all, why is it one of your favorite Christmas movies?
Because it's set at
Because it's
Christmas.
set at Christmas.
Because it's set at Christmas. Should
So-
Christmas come into it
All the storylines
as a heavy
happen.
plot point, or is it just set at
Yeah,
Christmas?
yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
so
tied
there's
into it.
Christmas
I mean,
work
like-
parties, there's Christmas concert for the children's school, there's the Christmas fetes, there's the Christmas festival. It's
So
all
it's kind of
The rock star
people's
dude,
travels.
he's like a retired, like a washed up old rock star, but he rewrites one of his
80s.
songs as a Christmas song.
Yeah.
Like he rewrites an 80s rock song as a Christmas
so
song.
the
So his
Christmas
whole
theme
story
comes in
arc-
heavy with the
absolutely.
loving and joy of Christmas
yeah.
spirit and all that kind of stuff. Gets
Yeah.
okay.
The rock star's whole story arc is that he's trying to beat all these young pop bands to get to the #1 spot on the Billboard with a Christmas song that he's written, which is a cover of another crappy love song from years before as well.
Okay.
It's the thing is, it's got a lot of really good story to it, but it's got a lot of
funny.
great one-liners in it as well. Like it's just really well done throwaway one-liners. Like it's
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Cool.
All right.
Any other final comments on that one?
Is Ginger not poo-pooing that in the chat? I thought he would have shut that down immediately.
He said he
He
also
said
has
he
not
hadn't
seen
seen
it.
it.
Oh God. Okay.
Any final comments on that one for the moment? I am keeping track of what's been said, by the way.
Oh, I was too, just in case. But
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Thank you.
I'm not tracking what's been said. I'm just tracking which movies.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, that's same. That's all I'm tracking, just movies.
I'm not tracking any of it at the moment.
I have a fancy new Remarkable.
I have a phone. Anyway, if that's all good.
Good so far.
Ginger just said, I'll make Tegan happy. Fuck that movie. Mitch,
Ginger, you have to go and watch that movie.
if we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Mitch, take it away. What's one of your top?
Okay. I'm going to start the one that was currently put at the top of my list, though
Yeah,
I
well, you're
will
wrong.
admit the
What?
list changes pretty much daily when you're talking about Christmas movies for most of us, I believe.
It was so hard, this topic. Oh my God.
My top two are pretty solid for me. It's the ones
Yeah.
below it that will shift around.
My number one at the moment is one called Arthur Christmas.
Oh,
That's a good choice.
I like Arthur
fucking
Christmas.
on my list, you slut.
But yeah.
Why, Rem? Why is it up there?
Oh, it's just every part that they have in it interlocks so well. They have the somewhat clumsy main character whose only thing that they want to see is that everyone gets a Christmas, and that honestly his dad is his hero, the dad being Santa Claus. And it just has so many perfect moments in it that even if you cut it down to just a scene, somebody would still enjoy that without context of the rest of it whatsoever. And they can tell so much despite, like, they can tell so much with a look, despite the fact that the characters are very cartoonified. Like, just to go into one of the ones that really pinches it for me right near the end of the movie. The moment where the father comes in when he's gone down the stairs and you see the whole "Dad, you came," and the hug, and you can see on Arthur's side, full of wonder, full of joy, feeling like it's all gotten, like everything's all good. Then you see the camera flash across the other side, and you see the what, and then guilt just sink into the father's face.
I think just to add to your point, if I might interject, Mitch. First of all, was this the movie you were just discussing the other day? Because you said you wanted to watch one potentially to see if it was nostalgia or if it was still good. Was this the one?
Yep.
Yeah. I first saw this myself on a streaming platform. I think it might have been Netflix when it was still on a streaming platform. I looked for it recently.
Yeah, it was on Netflix ages ago.
Yeah, and I couldn't find it, so I just bought the damn thing. I just bought a digital copy and rewatched it. Right, and one of the final scenes for me I think summarizes perfectly what you've been saying this whole time. Once they deliver that present, they're all about to leave.
You're
right?
going to the cupboard, aren't you?
Sorry?
You're going to the cupboard, aren't you?
The cupboard?
Where Arthur is the only one who stops them going, I want to see the kid.
They're outside looking in through a window.
No, they're inside looking through a crack in the door.
Yeah, Rem's right.
Yep.
They're watching the kid.
And I've misremembered that scene. But the point is, Arthur is just flat out caught up in the moment, not even acknowledging what they're doing, and the look on his face is lighting up. He's just staring, that smile, and the other two are just having this kind of glass shatter moment, that realization of what's going on, what's happening.
Yeah. And the father has the moment of it is time for me to move on, and hands him the little figurine from the board game, hands across to the other brother, and you hear the girl in the other room just, Santa bought me my bike, and it's still looking so wondered, and you just look across and literally see the look on the father's face and just, maybe she is right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of minor
So many
character
subtle
arcs.
moments.
There's a lot of subtle moments, a lot of different character arcs that they pull off really, really well into the whole entire story, right?
Yeah.
You've got four different potential Santas, only one of which kind of really shows itself at the end, right? Oh,
Mm.
yeah. And they're
And
all completely different journeys for completely different reasons at different points in their
Yeah.
life, and they pull the whole thing together in its nice little bow.
yeah,
I
and
love it.
not just that. Every single Chekhov's gun was used. Every moment that they had where something was brought in, all of it came back at the end.
It made perfect
Everything,
arcs.
yeah, like the what's it called? When they first introduced the ship, becomes a major part at the end of it. When they first introduced the sleigh, brings them through so much of it, and so many things are actually brought back around because of it. There's always time for a bow. Everything has its moment and
3 bits
arc
of
in it.
tape.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've been kind of hogging the whole limelight
Yeah.
here. But anything that you two
I
would like
like
to
it.
add?
That was
Arthur Christmas is on my extended list. I do really like Arthur Christmas. You know, it doesn't hurt that James McAvoy is the voice. They actually cast it really well. So
I'd say
Bill
Bill
Nye as
Nye.
Grandpa.
Bill Nye for Grandpa is just amazing.
And just for the
Yes.
record, to loop back a little bit, Bill Nye was the washed-up rock star in Love Actually as well. Just for the record,
Okay.
they cast it really well. Hugh Laurie did a brilliant job.
I'm not usually a fan of
as
his, but he is
Grandpa.
fantastic in this.
Oh, I'm a massive fan of his. He's fantastic. I used to love him with Stephen Fry, but that's going off on a massive tangent.
Oh
Jim
wait, no, I'm
Broadbent
thinking of
on
a
stage.
different. Sorry, I'm thinking of a different actor. Never mind. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Jim
fantastic.
Broadbent worked perfectly as the father.
Yeah,
Yes.
his voice did a really
Yes,
good job.
House Ginger. Yes, I was thinking of. Sorry, I was thinking of the wrong
Oh,
actor.
House.
Yes.
You're
No,
thinking of
Hugh
Hugh
Laurie is
Grant, aren't you?
fantastic.
You're thinking of Hugh Grant, are you?
Yes.
Yeah, who was also
Yeah.
in Love Actually.
You know, one of the
But I
funniest
just want
things
to
as
say,
well.
hang on, my last point on Arthur.
Yeah.
Mrs. Santa Claus was a badass.
Oh yeah.
I love that
So
he's basically a figurehead. Like he's a
he's
figurehead.
out there fucking fighting polar bears and talking peace and
Yeah, writing peace treaties
diplomatic.
and
Yeah.
One of the
She's
things I
badass.
think that Ian will get a laugh out of. You know, one of the lead elves was played by Andy Serkis.
Yeah. Do you know that Mrs. Claus? I forget the actress's name, but she plays for Umbridge.
Yeah.
In Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah, I did know that.
But yeah, that is my number one. So
I think it's time for Kami's first movie.
just pouring myself another drink. I feel like I'm gonna need this. Gonna make sure the throat's nice and moist.
Look, okay. to get this out of the way, because I'm hoping this is gonna be a fairly quick one. Look, okay, I'm not gonna start with the top one. Let's go with just one on the list. Let's go with the Santa Claus. Is on my list. It's not
Tim
number
Allen,
one.
Santa Claus, yeah.
No, I didn't put mine in order because I couldn't. I literally couldn't.
My top two are. But this is not in my top two.
Some of mine aren't even my top because Matt stole them. So I can't say The Nightmare Before Christmas because he already did it.
Look, I gotta say, look, the nostalgia is definitely a part of it. The 90s feel about it too. 90s movies for some reason for me just stick out that little bit more. I mean, it's probably just the whole nostalgic feel about it, but just the way
fact you grew up with it.
Yeah, but also the way they shoot. Like you can if you look at a movie made now, even the camera angles, the cuts, the panning, just something about the way the camera moves, the way it interacts with what's going on, just the way they did the 90s movies just feels different to now. And the Santa Claus is right at the top of that kind of feel for me.
And I just want to ask, are you bundling all three in as a single vote, or
I don't have the other two on my list, so I'm happy to bundle them all together. But of the three, number one is definitely the best. I did enjoy all three though. I
Tegan
did
and I were-
enjoy all three.
Tegan and I were talking about it, and I'm like, you've really got to bundle all three of them together because, like, so many things. It's like, here's the first one. Oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Here's the sequel. Oh, we made a third one still because we like money. Like, you can tell that they were still made with love. Like, they still had that.
They had the passion.
They had the
But Tim
passion.
Allen has a lot to do with that. He's been in
Yeah.
quite a few Christmas movies, including ones that are not feel-good fuzzy ones. There's a fantastic one he did called El Camino Christmas. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. But it is not a fuzzy, warm, feel-good movie. But he's brilliant. Tim Allen makes that.
Yeah,
He makes
I
those movies,
like those
hands
movies so
down.
much that I've been afraid to watch more than what I have of the series that's on Disney Plus right now. I've watched
Haven't
about
seen
10
it.
minutes.
Yeah, so Joey and I just finished watching the first three movies with the intention that now we want to watch the TV show. I was excited though because it's all the original actors. It's Tim Allen. It's
They
the
even got
same.
Bernard back. I forget the actor's
And
name,
Bernard,
forgive me.
yeah, from
Yeah.
Numbers. It's all the original actors. So I thought that can't be a terrible thing.
Hmm.
So I'm excited.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, Santa Claus.
it's
Totally agree.
yeah. So Santa Claus.
The best thing about the first Santa Claus movie, 2 Christmases in one movie.
Yeah, you are not wrong. You're not wrong.
2 Christmases.
I'm purposely saving some of my favorite ones for later in the stream so I don't get them all out of the way.
Yeah.
There's gonna be debates. Alrighty, so we're pretty set on the Santa
Big
Claus.
debate's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. We know what's coming.
We know what's going to happen.
We're all just calmly waiting for
Oh.
the one. I'm saving that one for my last one unless somebody beats me
Just
to it.
waiting for the crack of the knuckles, the stretching, the caps lock, and go.
I'm just gonna make sure I'm drunk enough to deal with your shit. So
Just on the Santa Clauses, I really love.
I have logical points and just nonsense ready to go. But anyway, moving
Before
forward.
we move on from the Santa Clauses, what I really love is the subtle humor connections to a lot of, and Tim Allen, he does this a lot in a lot of his movies.
Yep.
But the connections back to Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, from his character from Home Improvement, but just the humor in general. I really, really enjoyed it, and I forgot
genuinely enjoyed
how
just his
clever it was.
mannerisms.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
faces, his facial expressions.
Look at his open mouth smile when he's got the beard. That
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the open mouth
Yeah.
smile is fantastic.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you look at a lot of Tim Allen's roles, and especially his comedic stuff. He's not afraid to take the piss out of himself, and he doesn't take himself seriously. And because of that, he's made himself so successful.
I think that's a big reason why Buzz Lightyear works so well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, we all agree on that one.
Okay, cool. So we're back to Matt.
So the next movie, look, I sort of ummed and ahed about it putting it on my list. And one of the big things with like all the movies we've talked about so far is they've sort of stood up to the test of time. Like Arthur Christmas is relatively new, but all the other three movies, and I say relatively new, it's probably 6-7 years old now or something.
No, I think it's older than that.
Fuck me, I feel old now. Thank you.
Yeah.
All of those movies though, they're older movies. They really stand up to the test of time.
11 years old.
Fucking hell! God damn it!
Oh, is this?
He just needs a drink because it's an older movie.
I'm
Joey
feeling
was
old.
baby when it came
Did
out.
you see the picture I posted in our chat about what we think Mario was like 20 years
Yeah.
ago versus what it actually is?
What it actually was. Yes, I did. Thank you for that reminder.
For a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need reminding how old we are. Thank you. Anyway, Matt.
But yeah, Matt.
All right, so I've got this movie on my list because I think it's a fucking brilliant movie. It was a really interesting, different take on a Santa Claus. I'm curious, like, I want to go back and watch it in like 4 or 5 years' time and see what I think, but I'm going to throw out there Christmas Chronicles.
I really liked them.
So did I. I think the second one had that standard sequel problem for me where it's like, oh, people love this from the first one, so let's just like force it in to the second one. Pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially went, let's put it in, let's force it up to 11.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot of movies do that. They focus like Christmas Chronicles, and Kami, you're putting a big ass not, spoiler alert, even though we're talking about a lot of old movies. But like
I will be when I edit this for YouTube, but for this point onwards, spoiler alert for anyone watching the stream live.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Nightmare Before Christmas, then fuck you. But yeah, so it had a lot of great, like it had a really serious Santa. Like he was, took himself very seriously. Like it was, he had to get this job done. He had to get everything finished and sorted. And these kids just like basically got in his way and they fucked him around. And and it was like he wasn't painted as. Are you shaking your head at me?
You're
Early on,
wrong.
huh?
You're wrong.
Early on, he got
We got a
really
domestic
annoyed
coming.
at the kids.
So
Yeah.
what you're telling me is you think that Santa didn't realize that they were accidentally on his sleigh. You
He
don't
was
think the entire situation was purposefully set up by Santa.
It's very obviously shown that it's set up at the end where he
Right.
pulls the second hat out and puts it on. The
It's
hat was a whole big sticking point of the whole thing. If I don't have the power without it, kind of thing.
okay. Clearly, I need to go back and watch this movie
you
again.
need to go back and watch it because you have totally misinterpreted the whole situation of the sleigh breaking, losing the presents. All of that shit was purposefully designed to help these two children come to terms with what they needed to come to terms with
But
and have a
he
happy
was an
Merry Christmas.
asshole at the start of the movie to the
Because he had
kids.
to be to sell it. And he wasn't an asshole. He was just selling the, oh, you can't be on here. Oh, naughty, naughty.
If I can though, I agree with both Rem and Tegan for the first movie.
Wait, his fence seat, you little bitch.
No. But the second movie I think is absolute garbage. For a couple of
Yeah.
reasons. The second movie is garbage. And for me, it started on a very steep downhill slope for a not fair reason, but for a lot of other reasons, it kept on going down. The unfair reason is because of the antagonist actor.
I can't really remember the second movie.
I'd only just
Roy,
seen Deadpool 2.
I
And
have no context.
so
Deadpool 2, the kid in that is the same one who played the elf turned human in Santa Claus Chronicles 2.
And
Oh, that's not the
he-
movie's fault.
his
Oh.
acting is almost identical, and it just annoyed me.
See, I fucking loved him in Deadpool 2, but we're getting off topic.
Well, I mean, in Deadpool 2, it's fine. Anyway, but no, the things that they tried to dramatize in the second movie just anyway. No, but the first one, the one that you actually brought into this, Matt, yes, Matt,
Yes, Matt.
is good. I agree. It's a real good, fresh, as far as I can recall, fresh take
Yeah.
on Santa. Right,
Absolutely.
it's not just this blanket, jolly fat man. There is a serious side, and there's a different spin to the magic of Christmas. There's a different spin to how it works, how it comes about, where it comes from, and what it can be used for. It's a whole different angle on the entire situation. I when I first watched it I was on the fence. Rewatching it, I've fallen off the fence onto the positive side.
I really enjoyed that movie. Apparently, I missed everything in it, but
Maybe watching the right movie.
No, I really liked it. It's definitely in my top 10, not in my top 5. I liked the way they did Santa. I liked the way they kept tradition but added modern elements to it. I actually thought they balanced that really nicely.
yeah,
Which is hard to do. I love the reveal of Goldie Hawn as his wife, as Mrs. Claus at the end. I hated because everyone loved that moment so much. That's why she was so heavy in the second one, which I didn't love as much. And I'm sorry, nothing is better than sexy Kurt Russell Santa. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Alrighty.
Like, the thing I loved about Mrs. Claus in Arthur Christmas, and just in quick comparison between the two, like she became such a mainstay, such an important character in the second one. Whereas Mrs. Claus in Arthur Christmas, it's like, oh well, why you guys were out doing that? I wasn't doing anything important. All I was doing was signing a peace accord at the UN and fighting. Like it was such an offhanded thing of how badass she was. Like,
Yeah. And how, when they're in the ship and all that, the old Santa is having so many issues with it, and she's just stepping along behind him, just fixing it all up. And just, it'd be wonderful if you just read the manual.
Yeah.
Oh
As
dear.
Lisa
But, yeah.
Richmond.
Just so I can get a rough internal idea on time, how many other movies do you guys have on your lists?
Well, we
Well,
should
we
have
s-
3 each.
We said we're bringing 3 each and having some backups in
Yeah.
case so that
In
way we
case
end up with
somebody
all of
went,
12.
you know, fuck
Yeah,
no.
so we're
Yeah.
only sharing 3 each.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've got honorable mentions. I guess I've got 4 left on my overall list that haven't been said.
I mean, I've got
Absolutely.
like 8 honorable mentions.
And we will run through and do an honorable mention list in the episode, I reckon. Like after we come up with our 12, I think we just like quickly go through and go like, it's this because of this, this because of this, this because of this, and just like skip over.
Yeah, cool. All right, in that case, cool. Okay, so that means the time. We've got a fair bit of time for sleep. We can slow down a bit, potentially. But anything
Or
else?
save time for honorable mentions.
Yes, we'll save time for honorable mentions. Yes, cool.
We still have to argue this list down to the top 5, though.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
And
Okay.
that
That's
is going to
gonna
be the
take
heated
some
debate
time.
part.
So
So
for the interest
Yes.
of time, in that
Yep.
case,
Okay.
if it's all right to move away from the Christmas Chronicles,
Yep.
Tegan, your second on the not necessarily your second, but your second.
The second one I'm going to
Yeah.
bring up
Yes, that.
for the sake and the purposes of tonight, because I know what Matt's bringing. I roughly think I can guess what Kami's going to bring. Ram, you were a total wild card. I had no clue what you were
Based on
bringing.
my most recent Hear Me Out video, you should know one of my remaining 2.
Based on the fact that I have been a very close friend of yours for many years. And we've had many
Nice.
discussions about our favorite Christmas movies.
And I'm still saying that is set in a different time, not Christmas. So it's very
moving
on
on.
the-
Let's get to that one because
that is not. I'm intentionally not picking that one because I know that he will. I am going to put forth Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I
I've
think.
got to take that one off my list now.
Sorry. I really enjoy, like, obviously, I'm a massive big reader. I really love classic stories. Like Matt said, it's all about things that stand the test of time. It is my favorite iteration of Charles Dickens' story because of, I suppose, what Matt said before. It didn't take itself too seriously, but exactly as Rem said about Arthur, the way it all connects at the end. Every little puppety motion movement is there for a reason, and it all connects at the end. I love the way they used, because I've always loved the Muppets. One of my biggest childhood, pleasures was watching the Muppet Show, which is just showing how old I am now and that I'm older than all of you. So,
Oh, I remember watching that when I was younger.
not
Oh,
Sesame
yeah.
Street, the Muppet Show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
L
okay.
to the
Yes. It's how
Muppet
they
Christmas
took
Carol is
how they
good.
took the characters in and of themselves, even Gizmo, and made it into the story. So I thought it was really very, very well done. It was very humorous. Michael Caine as Scrooge did an amazing job.
Yes.
A really amazing job personifying that character.
Oh, did he ever?
Yeah.
Not just
I
that,
really enjoyed it.
I loved how he played it as if he was playing with people
Yes.
and kept the full serious throughout the movie, despite talking to a little green thing.
Yes.
It's just,
Well, that's it. He would have seen the puppeteers.
But
oh yeah,
the thing is, it's as much as the movie doesn't take itself seriously,
It takes itself seriously.
it takes itself seriously.
It's
Like,
Charles
it is,
Dickens' story. It's hard not to.
absolutely. It doesn't take the piss. It doesn't like taking the they're doing a parody version of it, right? So say if like Family Guy decided to do
Star
A
Wars.
Christmas Carol, right? Or Star Wars, they're not showing respect to the original content. The Muppets Christmas Carol shows and it tells Charles Dickens' story
Really well. Better
it-
than a lot of other iterations.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, they could roll out today. Like, if some studio decided, well, fuck it, we're going to make another copy of the version of the Christmas Carols with modern effects, with all the shit, they should be able to fucking blow it out of the park. But they won't.
There's only one thing about the movie that I didn't love, and it was the girl ghost. I actually really love the way they did the Ghost of Christmas Past, the big giant man pup. I loved
that
him. I love
was
his
Ghost
characters.
of Christmas Present.
Present, yeah.
I know what you
The
mean.
little
And-
girl ghost. I wish she had been a Muppet.
I
They
don't
tried
recall
to
that
see-
part.
She was like an animation, part puppet, part animation.
Okay.
And I understand what they're going for, but I would have preferred if she had been just all Muppet.
See,
Yeah,
I
I
love
get that.
Marley and Marley.
Yeah, Marley and Marley. Plus the songs. The songs were brilliant. And the
There goes
way
Mr. Hum. bug.
The way the the Gonzo and the rat tell the story, it's the whole thing is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mitch, you've
That's
been cut off a
my
couple of times. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was just
So
going to
back to
say
you,
that
Matt.
I loved the portrayal of Christmas Present with that one, with that how they actually added something new to the character, which was the whole short-term memory loss thing, because his mind is always on the present.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But just and I don't know who acted him or his voice actor. I'm hoping it was Frank Oz, but it might be before his time. The way he laughed with the ho 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 Santa style, and the Ghost of Christmas Future was terrifying. As a kid, I was scared of it. He come on screen, I'm like, not now, obviously, but he did his job. He scared little kids.
It was a very serious movie as well, which was very surprising for the Muppets, because up till that point, all of the Muppet stories, they'd have that going on and usually have the human actor screwing it up for them somehow to turn it into a whole comedy act. Whereas this, it had comedy in it, but
Of course, it's a
it
Muppets movie.
was
It's for kids.
yeah,
Like,
but it was the Christmas Carol, and anybody of any age would still get enjoyment out of it.
yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, they didn't detract from Charles Dickens' work, man.
No, they just rehearsed it. That movie came out in 1992. So you want to talk about things standing the test of time?
Hell yes.
My children who, tend to not love my old favorite movies, especially Luna, because the graphics are not good, they're victim of their own time. They both love that movie. Yeah.
I get that.
You could sell it as a new release today to young kids and they would buy that it is. Yeah.
Just do a digital remaster on it and you're away you go. Like,
Ram's second movie.
My job.
Sorry.
It's all good.
You're right.
My
It's
second
Cody's job.
movie
Rem's second movie.
my second movie is actually one that keeps the actual Christmas side of things on low key right until the end.
I'm
It's
already annoyed.
one from Netflix called Klaus.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Fuck you. God damn it.
What, was that one of yours as well?
That's my number 2, you slut. Damn it!
Times taking it off him. But yeah,
Oh.
throughout the whole movie, they keep the actual fact that it is a Christmas movie very low key, but it slips every piece of the Christmas stuff into it, and it's only at the end when they actually show that one bit of magic that just kind of goes, well, fuck.
It is one of the best arcs, like full-on plot points, character arcs, side stories that I've seen in a Christmas movie in a long time, and it's a recent movie. Right? It doesn't have that nostalgic. There's no nostalgia glasses, for lack of better terminology. Oh God.
I didn't like it.
I haven't seen it.
So, okay, plot points for Matt. Basically, it's this kid is a spoilt brat, and he's training to be in the postal service, but he's purposely flunking everything so he can go back home to his luxurious lifestyle and get wait on hand and foot, because his dad is the head of this academy. And yeah. Anyway, long story short, father calls him in. Rather than flunking him and throwing him out, sends him to the most northern point on his map, to the middle of nowhere, this ice gray landscape kind of thing, and goes, cool, I want you to build a working post office here and have 6,000 letters sent within the year. And there's like a huge town family rivalry going at the same time, and it's really like a backwards town. It's very old. There's very minimal, if any, electricity. It's just
Tags. You know what these stories reminded me of? You know the video I sent you of the every Hallmark Christmas movie?
Yes.
That is what these plots reminding me of.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so like every tacky Hallmark movie, it's like super successful rich kid gets sent off to some fucking.
Oh, he's not
town.
successful. He's a dropout.
Okay, super rich kid gets sent off to some bunking town by their dad to teach him a life story, and they're like resented a little bit initially, but end up like falling in love with this country town
No.
and everything they do for Christmas. You've literally just
Oh,
described
this
every
town
fucking
hates
Hallmark
Christmas.
movie.
This town,
This
nothing to do
town
with Christmas, nothing to do with
Christmas.
Christmas doesn't
He
exist yet.
stays selfish as all fuck for most of it, bribing the kids in order to try and get the letters to send to Santa, which again he is using gifts that the Claus made to bribe the kids to do this.
Because Claus is again like Arthur from Arthur Christmas in that he just wants to see these kids happy. Right? He's made all of these beautiful toys, which for his family, who are sadly no longer here, and he's kind of reclused up off into the distance, and he's had this light bulb moment of I can use this guy to deliver these gifts to kids that will use them. And that starts the whole gift giving thing and kids giving letters to Santa via the post.
I hated it.
You're not
Okay,
really
then.
selling me on it. Sorry.
I absolutely hated it. I watched it with the kids, and I thought maybe it's because I was a bit distracted watching with the kids, so I gave it a second go on my own, and still hated it. I think it is contrived. I think the storyline is convoluted at best. The only good thing I have to say about this movie is that it was beautifully drawn. Everything else, bullshit.
Hmm.
I hate it.
So we
It
can
would
Everyone
not
has
be.
their own opinion.
It
Yours
would
is
not
just
be
wrong.
in my
I
list of
move to
any
strike
Christmas
Tegan's comments
movies.
from the record.
No, you can't. I absolutely hated it. It was backwards. It was awful. It was awful. It was awful.
Can
I
you
don't think
elaborate?
Tegan liked it.
Pardon?
Can you elaborate?
On why it was
By the way,
awful.
Ginger has now said I automatically love this movie.
Fuck you, Ginger.
So can you elaborate? I want to understand your point of view.
You are supposed to, in the end, come to terms with what's his name, Jasper, whatever his face is, the spoiled little
Jasper.
brat. You're supposed to eventually like what he's achieved, but he is so fucking annoying from the second he opens his mouth, and then he never shuts it from start to finish.
His attitude, almost reminded me a little bit of a Emperor Cusco who had given up on life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Emperor
that's-
Cusco at least had witty one-liners, and he actually bounced well off his co-stars. This guy did not.
bounced well off.
No,
the
he didn't.
Pavement.
He took
When
over.
he got knocked around, and the
he
ferryman
tried to
was
take
glorious.
And if you are talking about the wonderment and the origin story of Santa Claus,
Yep.
I want it to have a little bit more wow factor than the woodcutter. in
But
the
it hit me
woods.
right in the feels.
No, it was not a good enough Santa origin story for me. Thank you very much. Kindly move on your unwanderous way.
All right.
Well,
So,
okay, seeing as
Tommy, what's your
I think
second
we found
movie?
the Grinch.
well, seeing as Mitch took one of mine, I have to go to one of my honorable mentions. I'm gonna throw in Home Alone.
Ugh,
I got to.
called it. I knew he'd pick that one.
Yep.
It's not one of my top 3.
Okay, so can I just say, you're seemingly previously, when I brought up Love Actually, and you said, what makes a Christmas in? I said it was set at Christmas time. You immediately pulled this face like, that's not a good enough reason. It doesn't make it a Christmas movie. How is Home Alone any different?
The entire plot revolves around it being Christmas.
So does
But
the
it is-
entire plot of Love Actually revolves around it being Christmas. So how is it different?
It is like the
There's a
least
difference
Christmas
with a
movie.
plot happening at Christmas to a plot happening at Christmas and involving Christmas.
How does Home Alone involve Christmas other than it's
But
Christmas time?
you
when
also
he
explained
leaves
to me tonight how Christmas is involved in the plots and how it intertwines, and I backtracked on my initial statement just for the record.
So then explain to me how Home Alone wouldn't fold out any other way unless it was Christmas.
Please explain to me the same thing about Love Actually.
I can, but I asked you first.
So if Home Alone was set on Independence Day, right?
And that's when they left them. That's when the burglars came along.
I want
How would that
to
change the
just
movie?
point out right now, you are already shooting yourself in the foot for your next.
No, we're
movie.
not.
No, we're not.
No, we're
You
not.
are 100. You
I am
100% up.
prepared for this.
No,
okay.
you
They're
are
making
not.
you describe
I have
exactly
notes, you
why.
motherfucker.
Dude, you're not.
Your
This-
final
this is
movie.
the most-
Your
Saying
final.
no
more
to it.
If
prepared
it
for
happened
this.
any other day, it would not change the plot.
I am more prepared for this than I was today at our fucking wedding. I am fucking ready for it.
Yeah,
You
and that's
fucking
the
what?
thing. In
Okay.
Our
order to-
wedding morning for the guys was super fucking low key. It was great.
I
Let him talk
haven't.
about Home Alone and why he thinks it's a good Christmas movie.
I have
which it
not watched
isn't.
Home Alone in a very long time, so bear with me. The whole essence starts at it is the whole thing is Christmas. The whole wet bandit, sticky bandit nonsense is all. Where do I even begin? Jesus Christ!
He needs to find a point to begin on. Like he's really struggling with this concept, obviously.
Ha 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 ha! It. Ginger, where do I start with this? This is basically. God damn.
Well, hang on. Does Rem like Home Alone and does he agree that it's a good Christmas movie?
I'm kind of indifferent on it, honestly.
I watched it a few times as a kid, but the thing for me, what makes a really good Christmas movie, and this is part of what I put in my thing is, right? Like, they're not movies that you want to watch, you know, like sort of 48 weeks of the year. But come Christmas time, like suddenly I'm like, fuck, I want to watch Nightmare Before Christmas, and I do that on Halloween as well. Like, I fucking want to watch Christmas Carol, like Christmas Chronicles again, because that was awesome. Like, I want to watch Santa Claus. Tim Allen's fucking great. It gets to Christmas time, and I remember it being on TV as a kid, but I had no urge to go back and watch it.
I watched it. It's interesting, but yeah, it's one of those ones where it didn't really strike me. It's kind of, yeah, if it's on, I'd sit down and watch it, but
I'm not going to go out
I
of my
wouldn't
way. And, yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
going to go
like-
and buy it on streaming
Yeah.
service to watch it.
yeah, like I did with Arthur Christmas to double check that it was still as good as I remembered.
Tammy, why do you like it?
As I said, I'm grasping at straws a little bit because it's not in my top 3. All right, most of my stuff has already been mentioned,
Pilfered.
and I've got one more honorable mention, but I don't like it as much as Home. Like of the two, I would watch Home Alone more than the other honorable mention I've got, if that makes sense. But the other one is a arguably possibly better Christmas movie, but not on my list.
I think Home Alone could happen at any time. It's not particularly Christmassy. It just so happens that it happened at Christmas where they left him behind. I don't think it's the sort of movie that stands the test of time. Like,
Majority of the
kids
music throughout the
love
entire
it.
movie is Christmas based. The
Yeah.
entire was it the first or the second one where he finds his mother at the that's the second one at the Christmas tree.
Seen the second one.
Yeah. He gets melding into one.
Yeah, the first one is when they've actually gone on the plane.
Yeah, he's stuck at
somehow.
home, not stuck in the apartment and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And they somehow
even
missed the
begin
fact
me-
he wasn't there.
Yeah, don't even begin me on the fucking plot holes in that statement.
Which
In that
one?
basic premise of the fact that they left their child at home and got on a plane and did not notice until they were on the plane and after they were on the plane. Fuck
And
off.
still didn't fucking
Yeah, no.
like boarded the plane
Yeah.
and like fuck, we're missing a child. Like, stop the fucking flight. I'm gonna go home and pick up my child.
Nah, bullshit movie.
Within 20 minutes, child services would have been there.
Would you rather I strike this one from the record and bring in the other one?
No,
No,
you
no,
can
no.
absolutely bring it in.
It's up to you.
This is entirely your
This
opinion.
is your choice.
No, I don't have a
What's your other
rock
one?
solid answer to your question.
Kami, I will never criticize you for having your opinions. I will criticize your opinions. You are absolutely entitled to what you think is a good Christmas movie.
And I'm just saying
and I
straight
will
up,
happily tell you it's wrong, and we will still be good friends at the end of the night.
100%. I'm saying straight up, there are great reasons out there as to why it is a good Christmas movie. I cannot
Look.
think of any of them.
Let's leave it on the list because we've got to reduce these 12 to 5, and it's the good first one to bump
I mean,
up.
that's a really easy one to cull out.
What we're gonna do now is we're gonna because of what is on the horizon. We're gonna go back to
Oh, is it
Mitch.
hard for you?
We're gonna go. Sorry, we're going clockwise before. I said anti-clockwise the first time, but it was clockwise. Now we're gonna go anti-clockwise and finish with Matt because fuck you. That's why. I'm assuming Matt has what I'm thinking as his last, and
We've
not
got-
Tegan.
We're going to have, yeah, it's Matt, and we're going
Okay.
to have to make it the last one. So we've got 3 movies left, mine, yours, and Rem's.
Yeah.
You're the one my
Apart
last
from the
one's gonna
disaster that Matt's bringing, yes, we've got 4 more movies between us.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm just making sure, is the one that you're bringing in, Matt, the one that we've been teasing about?
The one that you're
non-stop?
thinking of, yes, absolutely. That is
Okay,
my
then,
last pick.
So for anyone
Please,
watching right
Arthur.
now, when we finish on Matt, because we're going to go to Mitch next, then Tegan, back to me, then finish on Matt, that one is going to cause a 3-on-1 argument. A 4-on-1 argument if Ginger is still here at the time in the chat.
Ginger just said
Ginger just said 4. Yeah. So you want to stick around for that. But anyway, Mitch,
Yeah.
take it away.
I'm
What's
actually
your
going
third?
to go for a rather old movie. Well, I say old. It's not as old as some other ones that have been
Chitty
on
Chitty
here.
Bang Bang.
No,
It's not a Christmas movie.
I know. I'm
From-
just anyway.
1996. It was a musical called Mrs. Santa Claus.
Ah,
haven't
yes,
even
that's
ever
with
seen
Angela Lang. Oh,
Yeah, Angela Lansbury.
yeah.
I have never seen it.
I used to
It
watch it with my
is-
nan all the time. I haven't watched it in a long
is-
time though.
It is an instant classic for me. Even back when this is essentially the Christmas times of my youth personified. I even went so far as I went out looking for it. I found one version of it where the video didn't work, one version of it where the video worked but the sound didn't, and I literally put them both on play at the immediate same time so I could watch the movie.
That's dedication to a cause.
I have never heard of this movie.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
My question for you,
Essentially-
Rem, is: so you went and hunted it down and like watched it in the most painful way possible.
Yep.
Did it still stand up?
It's
Did it
got
bring back that
Cheetah
childhood
in
nostalgia?
it.
Yes, because the whole thing is done in such a simple way. It does not need the graphics, it does not need the huge overlays. Every bit of it holds up on story rather than effects.
What's it called? Mrs. Claus?
Mrs. Santa
Mrs.
Claus.
Santa Claus.
Oh, I have seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Essentially,
I've seen it.
Mrs. Claus is feeling unappreciated when Mr. Santa Claus refuses to look over a new route to better distribute the presents. She goes for a test drive to try it out herself and ends up having issues because obviously she does not fly the sleigh anywhere near as enough as he does and is forced to land in New York City due to horrid weather. And while
God,
she's
I've run out of movies. I've got so many more movies. I wanna add.
incognito as Mrs. North, she befriends the neighborhood inhabitants and helps them with some of their issues. It's essentially the age-old story of the person who's hugely into Christmas and the one who is only using it for a quick buck, and seeing how they both intertwine and how it all comes about. And it just, each piece of it goes in so well, I feel.
I have
Yeah.
never seen this movie.
I don't actually remember the plot at all.
No.
All I
neither do
remember in my head, I picture her she's in a red cloak, right?
Yeah.
Like a big fluffy kind of red cloak. All I remember is her coming
That's
out of like a
at the
stable
end,
where she's
yeah.
housed the reindeer.
Yeah.
That's the only frame I can recall from the movie. But I remember that I used to watch it almost every year when I was like 10. and below with my nan every year.
Yeah.
I don't remember the actual plot or haven't watched it since.
I think I saw it once as a kid. It looks vaguely familiar, but I've got no
Yeah.
connection to make commentary.
And the funny thing is, it actually is much more pertinent to today's generation than the old generation. Because one of the things is that all of the essentially homeless kids are working for this one guy to make cheap ass toys for Christmas. And his song is literally, it only has to last till Christmas.
I vaguely remember this now.
Yeah. And when she comes in to help out and all that, they're trying to do this in an ice cold building because the guy doesn't want to shell out for coal to heat the place. And she actually introduces what today is known as quiet quitting to them. Essentially, if it's cold, we will not work fast. And I feel that is much more pertinent to what's happening in today's world than ever before, honestly.
There's elements of that in the Charles Dickens story too, though. It's
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
that's it.
interesting,
get
though.
that,
I was
just-
hoping
yeah.
to come across movies that I wasn't as familiar with, so thank you.
So I put something on your list to at least try out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just going to say that. Like, there's a couple of movies now that I have to go and watch, including Claws, even though Tegan hated it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not doing that with me.
That's the thing. It's only got 6.6 on IMDb, but compared to that, 90% liked the film for the person side of things rather than the reviewers, you know?
The
Are you
audience
talking
rather than the
Mrs.
critics.
Claus or
Yeah.
Mrs. Claus? I don't give a fuck what movie reviewers say.
Mrs. Santa Claus, and it's one of those ones where it's over 10 and it's from back in 1996, so way before when a lot of people would be putting points in for this, but it's still high on the like list for people.
Okay,
But, yeah.
that was Mrs. Santa Claus.
I also felt that was one of the only Christmas movies that has properly given Mrs. Santa Claus a proper personality. Others give her quirks in the background, but they focus the entire movie around her, which I feel is an underused character in a lot of Christmas time things.
Okay. Tegan.
My Christmas list is getting so big for movies that we have to watch that we struggle to get through them in December now.
Yep.
And I'm going to have to
It's
start.
why the Christmas season starts in October.
Thank you. I'm struggling, and even now, as I'm looking at the 3 movies I picked to talk about, I want to bump one for another, and I'm gonna go with it. Mm. Okay, all right, no, fuck it. Go with what you said to begin with, Tegan. Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Yeah.
That was the other one I was tossing up with.
It is not my favorite by any stretch. It probably wouldn't even make my personal top 5, but it is a bloody good movie.
Yeah, that's
It's a
what I
very good
mean, right?
movie.
It's one
Yeah.
it's one that I watch once every 3 years for Christmas, or 4 years even. I watched it
Yeah.
last year for the first time in about 4 or 5 years, and the first, I think, 10 minutes of the movie, I think, oh, yeah, this is all right. And then every second after that, through to the end of the film, was just,
Again, I think it's another one of those things where, and Ginger, I'm not gatekeeping. I couldn't give a shit what people want to do with their stuff. But again, it's been overused to death in Christmas decorations and pop culture and
I would
just the
also argue
constant
that
references. It kind of kills the original movie.
I would also argue that Jim Carrey's version, though, is still better than the most recent animation that came out, though.
Fuck yeah, hands down, hands
I
down.
haven't seen the recent animation one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Unfortunately.
Watch Claws again. Don't watch Grinch.
Fair enough.
Actually, yeah.
What you should watch, Rem, is Love Actually.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
No, I didn't love the new animated version, and and to be fair to it, it's nothing wrong with it. It's probably just because nostalgically rose-tinted glasses, Jim Carrey was my
Yeah.
Grinch.
But
Nothing against Cumberbatch or whatever his name is, but that's
my
he's my
my
Grinch.
problem
Can I
with
just
Hmm.
sorry? Can I just ask? And this may be a stupid question. Was it a Doctor Zeus story or?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
cool.
No such thing as a
that,
stupid question.
but yeah, the thing that
Just stupid
Only
people.
stupid
yeah,
people.
the Grinch is what I'd call an SNL movie. Saturday Night Live,
Yeah, yeah.
essentially because most of the acting in it is done over the top to pander to the lowest part of the audience, which hits a lot of times, but when it doesn't, it crashes hard.
A question I have for Tegan, and I'm in the same boat as you, Tegan, for this movie. But you've mentioned pop culture a number of times tonight, and the for lack of better terminology, the bandwagon effect, right? Um, and I feel like on the other side of that same coin, overpopularized, like A Christmas Carol, I believe has been overutilized far more than The Grinch,
God, yeah, it has.
and yet didn't we kind of just talk up
No,
massively?
no. But the difference between A Christmas Carol is I you don't walk into Kmart and there are Scrooges, ornaments, and it's the commercialization of the
So
Grinch
not the
that
See,
constant
frustrates me.
retelling of the story. So I
No,
want to
no,
just
no, no.
yeah, I just want to
Not
make sure I
retelling the
understand.
story at all.
It's not the
Yeah, no,
constant
no.
retelling or the
No.
different versions. It's the so you said okay, commercialization, like the yeah, I
Mm,
get it. Yeah,
So
I can
people
see
now have
I
that.
can't
Grinch trees
articulate, but
instead
I
of
get it. I
Christmas
get it. I
trees,
get it.
which again, I don't care what people do with their own time in life, but I do feel it takes away from the originality of the story and the way I sat down and I watched it this afternoon with the kids, and I sat there going, "Oh, I'm so sick of hearing," because that movie had so many good one-liners, like, "I've got dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again." You hear people just repeat it over and over and over again. It's like, "You've ruined the movie for me now."
see, you talk about that, but like your dad's a big fan of the bah humbug.
Yeah.
And it's I mean it is less common because it's sort of less mainstream. Which sounds really odd, like it's
Yeah.
fucking Charles Dickinson,
Yeah.
but it is less mainstream. Like whereas Grinch really pushed it into mainstream.
Yeah, and on the back of what Tegan said, like Jim Carrey made a lot of those kind of. I mean, it's the constant quotable
Yeah.
reuse kind of lines. Like, I mean, when I watched it, I mean, there was one moment that I had forgotten about somehow, and when I saw that scene, I kind of lit up for a moment, had a bit of a giggle, then went back to meh, and that was the echo.
Yeah.
Hello, hello,
Yeah.
how are you? How are you? I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah. I get. Okay. Cool. Cool.
And I really struggled. My honorable mention is my other one, which I personally think is better than The Grinch.
Well, that's why I ended
Yeah.
up going with Home Alone
Dude.
because it's higher up on my list, but I believe The Grinch was a better Christmas movie.
I think
Oh,
As a black and white answer, a better Christmas movie in terms of my list, I would watch Home Alone again probably before I watch The Grinch. But The Home Alone is also for me in that category of I'm gonna watch it once every 4 or 5 years, if
I
Yeah.
that.
haven't seen it for a
yeah.
long time.
In mentioning this, the other one that has to be my honorable mention is Elf.
Elf is good.
Oh my god.
I
It's
can watch
written.
it. Yeah, I can watch it every 4 to 5 years, but it's not something that I could watch
Stupid
every
movie.
year because the
I love that movie.
humor is
You
again
don't like
very
it, Cubby?
SNL humor.
Nah. Well,
Oh,
Will
I love
Ferrell
Elf.
is very hit and miss for me. He's either fantastic or he's absolutely absurd and terrible. And
Actually,
Yeah,
even
Elf,
okay.
that.
for me, was in the terrible bucket. Well, actually, sorry. Will Ferrell was great in that movie. For him, it was one of a great movie, as in for me, for his acting, etc. However, the movie, the second he travels, it's just, okay, for me, it lost all sense of Christmas. And it's just, I want to talk to my corporate
So
father, and it's
this
just
this is a whole different conversation, but Will Ferrell plays one role. And he does that role exceptionally well, but he plays one role.
Yeah. Anyway, cool.
I'll be back in 1 second. I'm going to join from my phone, but I'll be back.
No, that's good. We got 2 movies left. Let's take a 5-minute break because I'm gonna need another drink to go into the last one. We've got 2 movies to go before we hash this out. The last movie we're gonna be hashing out is gonna be absolutely mental. So we're gonna take a quick 5 minutes, and we'll be right back.
5 minutes later.
Alrighty, thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so 2 movies to go before we try and narrow this down to our top 5, which is going to be hard. 2 movies to go. My last movie, which is my favorite Christmas movie, which will completely contradict your last pick, is The Rise of the Guardians.
Yeah!
I am not saying that I dislike the movie, but it's not a Christmas movie.
Why?
It has Russian Santa in it.
Why,
It's not a Christmas
Tegan?
movie.
Why?
It's
an
set at
Easter
Easter.
movie.
So a Christmas movie is purely when it's set, is what you're saying?
Technically, Tegan's right, but can I just say again, Russian fucking Santa.
For anyone who would like an in-depth analysis on why I'm right, I did a 10-minute video.
Kami thinks he's right.
On my, it's my opinion. That's at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just my opinion. But I did a 10-minute video. I hear me out, not hear us. I hear me out video on my YouTube channel. A week ago.
Pussy doesn't want to negotiate it with, argue it with us.
Sorry, that's in depth. But in short, I take you back to the Santa Claus, where in number 3 they had the council. I gotta sneeze. Okay, so they had the council, right? Most of those council members, to a degree, well, not all of them, but a fair bit of them, are then also in Rise of the Guardians. Same concept. All right. Presents, Santa, snow, themes of Christmas with joy, laughter, children, happiness. Great Christmas movie.
Yeah, I actually have a whole opinion in that movie, right? So it's set at Easter, which is when things are starting to warm up for the US, which is obviously what the movie set. How come there's so much snow?
Jack Frost.
My question still stands.
Hey!
What's he doing?
Sorry.
He also gets taken to the North Pole. Just saying. But
No, that's actually right. There's snow before.
Remember
Ginger,
this is set in America.
Ginger, the American, has said it could be set in the north of the US. I actually
It's
don't know where it's set.
mainly set in Western Pennsylvania, if that makes any difference.
How far north is Western Pennsylvania, Ginger?
Gabi, I don't disagree with you. I absolutely love Rise of the Guardians. It would be in my at least top 10 favorite Christmas movies.
Not good enough. It is the number 1.
Nah.
It is number 1. It has a beautiful story for kids and adults alike. It's got that beautiful underlying childish tone with real deep, meaningful, beautiful messages, as well as, I mean, Pitch Black. Jude Law was phenomenal.
Yeah,
But
dude,
next level was Alec Baldwin as North. Because I feel it in my belly.
I do not disagree with you. He is probably one of the best versions of Santa I have ever seen. And that movie
He has naughty and nice tattooed on his forearms.
That movie contains my absolute all-time favorite visual Christmas moment ever, which is when you first see the sleigh and the reindeer come out. That, 20 seconds, not even, with the hooves and the breath coming out of their nostrils and shit. That tiny little sequence is Christmas personified for me. There is only one other movie that does it that's not as good, but pretty well, which is it's a stupid movie called Noel. But the
I actually
reindeers,
like that movie.
I actually
hey?
really
It
like it
wasn't
too.
bad. It wasn't
No,
bad.
I liked it. But the reindeers smack their antlers together and then take off. I liked that little touch.
Yep.
But that moment, I love North. I love his whole character, the belly, the joyful wonder, the making of the ice
The
toys.
genuine
I do
chemistry
love
with
it.
every single character.
Mhm.
The
I-
character that had no lines was
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Sandman
Sandy.
was
Yeah.
glorious. A
Yeah.
mute character was one of the most creative characters. And
Yeah.
one of the most powerful. It turned Sandman into something stupidly overpowered.
Again, just between the three of us, when I first time I watched that movie, when he got taken by Pitch Black, there was a lot of dust in that room at the time, and I'm sure that's the reason why. Like, I had some bad hay fever.
But
You know what the funny thing is? The first time I saw that movie was with Ian, and we went into a theater where the fucking air conditioning had broken, so it was about 5 degrees colder than it should have been in that room. So it felt like we were sitting there in
I was so
winter
happy.
movie.
I love the cold. I was so happy.
I mean,
Oh.
absolutely pulling your leg. Rise of the Guardians, 100% an awesome Christmas movie.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, exactly. I mean, as I said, the chemistry, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, for any movie to hit me, it's going to hit me on an emotional level, right? And this hit every nail on the head. Freaking
Sorry.
Ginger.
Jim just wants me to call you out for liking a character that had no lines when that was one of your main reasons for not liking Boba Fett, that he didn't have enough lines.
I want to. No, that's a fair point.
Yes.
I'm not going to go
brilliant.
down. I'm not going to get down this rabbit hole. Apart from the fact that you could, okay, all of Boba Fett's runtime on screen was less than 4 minutes in the original trilogy. He can go fuck himself. Anyway,
That's funny.
the messaging of the movie, it doesn't get too dark for kids, but it does get very dark. Like the origin of Jack Frost, right? It hits you right in the feels when he goes back to town and no one can see him. And he has no memory, and just even his interactions with the moon, right? Just he speaks to you, and you just kind of immediately. It's like seeing Obi-Wan refer to himself as Ben for the very first time. It's kind of oh, hey,
Very well cast movie.
hey. Yeah, Hugh
I'd
Jackman.
like to know. Yeah. So it's based on a book series. It's based on a book series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
look, okay, I need to push this forward because we've got half an hour, or just a bit over,
Ish.
to
Before we
Figure
move
out
to
where
the main
things are.
event, shall we all just mention one honorable mention each before we go to the main event?
I want to point out that I have bingo. Everything on my list has been said by me and others. I have the best Christmas list because everything on my list, all 8, have been mentioned. Therefore, I have the best list. Just saying. The best taste in movies. Thank you.
But I didn't even really list of 5, but yeah.
And were all of yours
Honorable mention?
mentioned?
But all of mine were mentioned. I've got one left outstanding.
Yeah, but
which
you
is
had to
the
mention
main
3 of them yourself.
Which is what?
Pardon? I have one outstanding, which is the main event.
Oh, yeah. So you don't have an honorable mention?
I have an honorable mention. That is Elf. Like,
Elf?
I actually love that as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, me too.
And again, it's tacky. Will Ferrell plays the same dumbass character he always plays. But again, it's that magic of Christmas. Like it's
There is nothing more Christmassy than a family disconnected and reconnecting at Christmas time.
absolutely.
It is an absolute stapled Christmas trope.
I want to just say for the record, my top 3 in order were Rise of the Guardians, Claus,
Mhm.
and The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
They're all my top 3, and 2 of them got fucking mentioned, so I had to go immediately with honorable mentions. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Good work,
Look,
Tegan.
I do need to shout out some of the childhood stuff, like yeah, and obviously the like one of the absolute classic Christmas movies, Miracle on 34th Street. I watched
I
that
was
a lot
about
as a
to
kid.
mention that.
now you know my pain.
That was going to be my honorable mention.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I can't remember what it's called.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way. I remember watching that so many
Yeah.
times as a kid. I actually remember a school trip. They had it on in the fucking bus. I can't remember why they had it on in the fucking bus because we're like 6 weeks to shut down over Christmas. But
It is a
I
great
remember
movie.
watching-
I have not watched it since the year 2000.
and that is why these movies haven't made my top list because again, one of the measures for me was like it comes to Christmas time, it comes to December, and like what Christmas movies do I like fucking have to watch? And none of those movies made the cut, unfortunately. But like Elf is 100% a movie that if I'm flicking through Netflix or something, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, Elf's there. I'm gonna fucking watch that. Fuck yeah.
Now, for me,
Ren?
Jingle All the Way was different. I would probably still watch it now and then every couple of years, but I haven't watched it. I can't bring myself to watch it. 26th. No, it was the 25th of November. The night of the 25th of November. It was on free to air. I went to sleep watching that movie. I got woken up.
The nightmares.
I got woken up early morning on the 26th of November and went home from the hospital. My pa had passed away.
Uh,
So I went to sleep in hospital 2 rooms away from him watching that movie. I haven't been able to watch it since.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that
I
is-
love the movie. The movie's fantastic.
It was funny. Rem, honorable mentions?
well, I was going to do Miracle on 34th Street. I was going to mention Jingle All the Way. I'm going to go to one which people may not have watched, but at the same time, is set in a world that I have absolutely loved because it is so fucking insane.
Teletubbies movie.
Hogfather
Don't know that. Sorry.
from Discworld.
No, don't know it. Sorry.
Not familiar.
Discworld
seen
I know what
is
Discworld is, but I haven't seen it.
Discworld is a fucking insane world. Just so anybody knows, it's
Pratchett.
Terry Pratchett, who actually had what's it called, dementia, and in his dementia, he had created this whole world, which he ended up putting down into his books. And literally on his last days, he spent them talking with his characters. But yeah,
A Christmas themed one?
oh yeah, Hogfather. It's
Ooh, I might
yeah.
have to look that up.
Yeah, it is very much a Discworld movie.
Yeah.
But
don't
it
mean to-
is a
Sorry.
Hmm.
You keep going,
but yeah,
but we're going to have to cut it
It
in a
is-
sec.
it is a Discworld movie, but it is definitely a Discworld movie that is centered around Christmas.
Alrighty.
But yeah.
Pure for interest of time, if I went Tegan, did we go into your honorable mentions yet?
No. So I'll
Please.
keep mine nice and quick. One that is stereotypically not a feel-good movie, and it's a recent movie, but I really, really loved it, and I thought it was very well done, was a movie called Last Christmas. It's a very serious movie. It's got Amelia Clarke and Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson being one of my all-time favorite actresses. Really worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Nostalgically, from a child, I used to be absolutely in love with this stupid movie called with Olivia Newton-John, and it was called A Mum for Christmas. And it is literally, she is a mannequin at a store who gets magically
remember
brought to
that one.
life.
So it's a Frosty the Snowman wannabe and a crap
Yeah.
version of it.
A crap Aussie version of it, but as a child, that's all I wanted to watch every
What's
Christmas.
it called?
A Mum for Christmas. Yeah,
I can't
this
even
girl-
I can't even parody the Frosty the Snowman song to that. It's just
No, you can't.
no, it's just fucking terrible.
But my
Christmas.
2 actual honorable mentions for their value and worth of Christmas movies, and one of them would be in my personal top 5, is National Lampoon's Christmas Holiday and Christmas with the Cranks.
I haven't seen the second one in a long time. First one, I just never sat with me. But anyway,
Love it. It's that the classic humor of the time. I think is
Yeah.
still relevant. Yeah.
alrighty, and
But-
now
My personal is Christmas with the Cranks is in my top 5.
fair enough. I think it's time we got to that point where I believe this next talking point is going to be bigger than actually creating the top 5 list.
Get your popcorn out,
So
people.
yeah, we need to kind of fuel up here.
I'm happy and ready to go.
All right. So,
All right. You ready, Kami?
caps lock.
I'm going to
Stretching.
prove you're a piece. You're a piece of shit, and I'm going to prove it to you mathematically.
So, just for the record, Matt, obviously the four of us know exactly what you're going to say. Please, Matt, for everyone watching live or archived, what is your last Christmas favorite Christmas
It
movie?
is my favorite Christmas movie to watch while we're wrapping presents for the kids, while we're putting on the stuff, doing the whole Santa thing, getting everything ready to go for them. There is nothing better than
No.
watching Alan Friedman
No.
fall off the top
Oh.
of Nakatomi Plaza into the Christmas tree. Christmas is not official until I've seen Alan Rickman falling out of the sky towards that Christmas tree.
Right, can I just ask you a couple of questions?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Can I just ask you a couple of questions? And I know some of these will be yes, and some of these will be yes, some of these will be no. But I want to just ask a couple of questions just to make it, just to clarify.
Sure.
Some of these will be yes, some of them will be no. But just hear me out. Does it have snow?
Yes.
No?
Cool. No?
Actually, it does. During the drive there, you can see some of them on the outside and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we got a yes. Are there elves?
I just want to throw it out there. It's also set in fuck, like, yeah, I have drunk too much tonight.
Hang on,
California?
California.
Hang on, I'll get
California is fairly far south
New
of
York.
memory, but it's
No, I think it's actually set in New York.
Hang on.
No, it's not in New York.
So it
Maybe
has
it is.
snow. That's okay. So it has snow. Does it have elves?
No.
No. Is it set at Christmas?
Yes.
Yes.
Does Home Alone have elves?
Yes. Hang on. Does it have a jolly old man with a beard giving out gifts in some shape or form?
Yes.
There's a jolly old man giving out gifts.
Bearded?
They have a Santa at the work Christmas party. There is a Santa in it giving out gifts
That's a
at the work
yes.
Christmas party.
Okay. Cool. What else? Does it have? Yeah, but hang on. But that's just a Santa at a party. That's not revolving. No. Anyway, I'll leave it there.
Of how his rules for what classifies it as a Christmas movie apply to us, but not to himself.
Yeah, like, I'm just looking at Karma's list right here. Like, Home Alone, where are your fucking elves there? Where is the fucking Santa Claus?
No,
in Home
my
Alone?
argument is there is a beautiful set of movies out there which has snow, takes place at Christmas, has elves, and a jolly old man, bearded old man giving out all
So
sorts
what
of
you're
wonderful
saying
things.
is there can, based on your thing with snow, there can never, ever be an Australian Christmas movie.
I'm saying that I would argue that I am wearing a Christmas shirt more than Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Lord of the Rings is a better Christmas movie than Die Hard.
That's not the argument, though.
It is Die Hard is an action movie set at Christmas. There is no
It is
Christmas
a
theme.
Christmas action movie.
There's no Christmas theme
Every
apart from it takes place at Christmas.
Excuse me, okay? And here is why you were wrong. First of all, it hits every single Christmas stereotype trope in the sense that it is an estranged family getting back together at Christmas time, which is a Christmas staple trope.
It's Miracle on
Absolute
34th Street, dude.
everything about it in that sense of the word.
Even
Sorry.
so, even the ties to the religious stories of Christmas. He's the weary traveler coming into town. Like, he is Joseph from the Bible.
His wife's name is Holly.
Yeah. One
His
thing I
wife's
like-
name is Holly.
Let me
One
read you
thing I'd
this
like
this
to-
Christmas carol. Right? He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so keep it secret, keep it safe. You better watch out You better not fly. Into Mordor, I doubt. On Eagles, here's why. Sauron's eye is watching the skies. There are no Christmas carols involving Die Hard. It's just an action movie, generic action movie set at Christmas. There is a Christmas tree. The only person in the entire movie wearing a Christmas hat, apart from the Santa, is a corpse.
It would not have worked any other time of the year.
Please explain why.
Correct.
Because he wouldn't have ever gone to visit her at her office if it was not Christmas time.
I could argue that family in Home Alone wouldn't have gone on holiday any other time of year except for a
Yes, they
Christmas
could.
holiday.
They could have gone east. They could have gone any other time. He goes there
And
purely to see her
Independence
to
Day.
reconcile for his children at
Egan.
Christmas time.
And they go away as
May I
a Christmas
finish my
holiday
point?
for the family because everyone gets time off work and off school because there's
It
what,
has-
8 fucking children.
My point,
It has- It has Christmas puns in it. Ho, 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 now I have a machine gun.
Not just
Let
Is
Rem
that not the
talk.
greatest fucking line ever?
Matt, let Rem talk.
Not just that. The robbery could only be set at that time because they had literally removed every other staff apart from the one guy at the desk. All of the people were busy at that time of the year for the police. They couldn't have gotten the items into the building without the freaking Christmas time going on. The entire plot would not work if it was not at Christmas.
Any other major public
Intentionally
holiday. Independence Day.
America
Have
doesn't
you
shut
ever
down like we
heard
do in
of an
Australia.
Independence Day party?
America,
I'm sure it
for
happens.
their public holidays does not shut down the same way Australia does. So when we have like the Queen's birthday and like no fucker works, every fucker still works over there. Independence Day, heaps of
Thanksgiving.
people work. Their only shutdown holiday is Christmas.
That's
Yeah, they get one day off, not the whole period.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
trying to compare it to something like The Lord of the Rings is ridiculous in and of itself. As a base argument, you could throw any movie and say, "Oh, well, it's got a Christmas tree in the background, so it's a Christmas movie."
Yeah.
Die Hard.
that is exactly what Die Hard is.
No, it's
No,
not.
It's not.
It
It literally
absolutely
would
It
not
is an
work
action movie that takes place
at
at
that
Christmas.
time
It
of
could have
year.
happened on any
The
major
only
public holiday.
music it has is Christmas music.
There are 4 Die Hard
reference-
movies. The other 3 are not Christmas movies.
Your points, like the music, the themes, the things that could only happen at that time of year are things that I threw out for Home Alone, which you tore me apart on.
No, they're not.
You can't have it both ways.
What did we say, sorry, that we tore you apart on for Home
Everything
Alone?
you've just mentioned.
No, what I said to you was explain to me how it's a Christmas movie and how it could only happen at Christmas because I knew you were going to bring this up for Die Hard. I never said that it wasn't a Christmas movie because of that fact. I questioned you and I asked you to tell me why Home Alone is a Christmas movie when it could have happened at any time, just like Die Hard. And you unsuccessfully did that.
And
In the
thing
moment,
is,
yes, you are right.
Our token yank in the chat has just confirmed what I said. Like, no other public holiday does America shut down in the same way that it does for Christmas Day. Like, Thanksgiving, there's still a shitload of people out there working. Like, Independence Day, like, you have to request that time off. It's not like Australia where everybody shuts down for Easter long weekend, everybody shuts down for Australia Day, everyone shuts down for everything else. It is.
What do you mean everyone shuts down for Australia Day?
We have a public
It's a
holiday
public
for it.
holiday. You work in retail, you don't count. Oh shit, I listed Bauble.
It's a public holiday.
It's a public holiday.
Yeah,
but
but-
holidays in the US, it's not actually a shutdown day. Christmas, like the country fucking shuts down, like it does in Australia on
Australia
Good
only has
Friday.
4 shutdown days. 4
which
full
is
shutdown days.
Anzac Day, Good Friday,
Anzac Day is
Christmas
half a day. 4
I've
full
worked in
shutdown.
retail for a fucking long time. I don't work public holidays. It's
Anyway,
fucking great.
this is not the argument. You are so sidetracking. I never said that that's what made a good Christmas movie or not. What I said was because I knew that that's what.
My point is, I'm leading into the logic argument, the timing argument.
I have got 2 points to raise on the matter. Ellis, Holly's boss, Holly is McLean's wife. Her name is Holly. Doesn't get much more Christmassy than that, does it really? Gives her a watch. John McClane saves her using their watch. So there are gifts being given all around the Santa because it is a work Christmas party. Every movie that you have said that needs to be a Christmas movie, what has to have Santa. So that means most of our movies don't comply. If they don't have Santa and they don't have elves, it doesn't comply. That means Love Actually's out. That means heaps of the movies that we've mentioned tonight
Just throwing out
are
there,
out.
all three of mine do.
So that in and
I
of
do.
itself is unrealistic expectations for a Christmas movie. And without Christmas, McClane couldn't have beat the terrorists.
He used Christmas wrapping tape, like actual decorative Christmas wrapping tape, to do his iconic thing of "I surrender." Bam, bam, motherfucker.
It is a Christmas movie the same way that Jingle All the Way is a Christmas movie. It is set at Christmas time. It is an event that happens at Christmas time. Her work Christmas party is only going to happen at Christmas time.
So you would then say, by the same definition, Iron Man 3, Hawkeye.
They had very brief moments of it. It was not. The
Oh, but that
majority of the
that
plot
Christmas.
set
That
I'm just going to
Christmas.
throw it out in general. We don't talk about Iron Man 3.
Christmas is a giant, major player in the movie from start to finish, from music to visuals to what is going on in the people's lives in a realistic point of view, being Christmas movies, giving each other gifts, etc. To the fact that he fucking uses a Santa hat and says, "Ho, ho, ho, motherfucker, now I've got a machine gun." Christmas infiltrates every moment of that movie from start till finish.
Using Mitch's argument, which was off screen about a week ago, of Disney has weighed in, putting Die Hard in the Christmas list.
Yep.
Home Alone is in there naturally.
I never said it wasn't a Christmas movie. I agree it's a
As
Christmas
is
movie.
Iron Man 3
Good for it.
and
It's not a
Hawkeye.
Christmas movie. It's not a Christmas movie.
It is a
Iron
Christmas
Man
movie.
3.
Iron
When
Man
you
3 is
search-
fucking oath a
when
Christmas
you-
movie.
When you search Christmas on Netflix or Binge or Stan, it
Disney
brings up...
has said.
I don't give a shit what Disney says. You bring up the word Christmas and it brings up, an episode of Frasier, an episode of Will and Grace, an episode of the Great British Bake Off that happened to cook a Christmas pie. Ooh.
Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie by this
Okay.
definition.
So
Fine.
if you accept that, why are you saying that Die Hard still
I'm
isn't?
using it as an argument.
No, you're not. You're not.
That is the one.
Then you need to turn around and go, okay, so by that logic, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
No, I would argue that I would personally argue that Iron Man and Hawkeye are not Christmas movies or TV
Of course
series.
they're not.
I'm
But
going
yet-
to throw it out there again. Iron Man 3 is an abomination.
I'm not
against God.
Disney. I'm not Disney. Disney can say and do whatever the fuck Disney wants to say and do.
And just so you know, Hawkeye is not set as a Christmas series. It is saying that
It is
has one
100% in the
episode.
list. It is one.
It
I've
is
just
in
looked it
there.
up.
What I am saying is that it is there because it has a Christmas episode.
Just like Will and Grace, just like The Simpsons.
It literally, its 6-1 is, so this is Christmas.
Has
That
got
is why
Christmas
it's
in
in
it,
the
slots in
list.
their algorithm. Whereas Die Hard is a fucking amazing Christmas movie. And they intentionally, like, it wasn't accidental fucking inclusions of Christmas stuff in the background for it. They very intentionally, way before the fucking internet was a thing. Like, if this was Die Hard 2 or 3 that they, like, fucking tried to jam it into a Christmas movie, I would actually be on your side. But this is the first Die Hard movie, right? It was just another fucking action movie through the rest of the world. And it is a Christmas-themed action movie. It is a Christmas action movie in every way, shape, and form.
There's a new Australian movie out this year. I forget what it's called. The trailer looked like crap. But basically, it's a mall cop and some kids who stuck into the mall after hours, and people break in and try to steal $300,000 or something. And it's all happening over the Christmas shutdown period. And it's a Christmas movie. It's no different.
Sounds like Home Alone.
Yeah, it looks
Made
similar.
me think of Paul Blart Mall Cop, honestly.
Yeah, basically,
Two
Paul.
things meshed together.
Yeah, basically, but it's an Aussie one.
But yeah, literally, my argument for it is that it would not work at any other time of the year.
It wouldn't.
Christmas was a fundamental part of the movie.
Agreed.
If you take
Absolutely.
Christmas out, the rest of the movie does not work.
There
My
were 4
argument
amazing
for
Die Hard
this.
movies.
Sorry?
Hmm?
There were 4 amazing Die Hard movies.
We don't
One
talk
of
about
them
the
was a
fifth one.
Christmas movie. What 5th one?
Exactly.
There's a lot of things in Iron Man, in Hawkeye, and many other movies that happen to happen at Christmas that couldn't have happened any other time of the year. Not disputing that now. Okay? I will concede that. However, does the fact that this if all this stuff by chance happened at a Halloween and for argument's sake was able to happen during Halloween, would it be a Halloween movie?
Yes.
That's the thing. This stuff would not be able to happen at Halloween.
No, I'm beside the point.
Yes.
If-
And if it happened at Easter, it would be an Easter movie.
If they had somehow made Easter integral to the plot or Halloween integral to the plot, then sure.
Something happening because people are on a holiday or not at work because of a holiday does not make it a Christmas themed
But
The
movie.
Christmas staff party makes it a Christmas theme movie.
I
The
s-
reason he is leaving his hometown, which I think is actually New York, Matt.
Yeah.
And going there is because it is Christmas. He is going to see his estranged wife and his children for Christmas. It is integral to his story arc.
when you break the movie down into its simplest form, he goes to this other city that he doesn't want to go to,
That he
You know,
hates.
that he hates, super fucking skeptical about the whole situation. He has a life-changing moment, and suddenly he's happy enough to be in that city, and him and his wife reconnect. The love reignites. Like every fucking Christmas movie ever made.
like every other rom-com
It
ever
is.
made. It
It
doesn't-
follows the theme
How
of a Christmas
fucking
movie.
dare you compare Die Hard to a rom-com?
Let
First
me-
of all, fuck you. I will be at your house in what, 3 weeks' time?
Yeah.
Something
Let me break down
something like that, yeah.
3 of the major points. As far as Christmas themes, rekindling of family ties, the child waiting to be born, and the hunt for the lone savior. Those are all very strong Christmas themes that are all in Die Hard.
Say again?
For Christmas themes, rekindling of family ties. That's a big one.
The Killing of Family
Child-
Ties is a purely a Christmas theme.
It is. It shows up in
He didn't say it
Almost-
was purely a Christmas
said
thing.
it, but it
He
is
said it
leaned on
is one of
heavily
the
in-
ones
major
that show
elements.
up
Okay,
in
okay.
Christmas themes fairly often.
Just clarifying.
Child waiting to be born also shows up fairly often in Christmas
Child waiting to be
themes.
born is by definition just pregnancy, but okay.
Yes, but yeah, the pregnant
The origin of
wife or whatever.
Christmas.
Yeah,
The
and
Christian
hunt-
origin of Christmas, I should say.
and in most of them, the hunt for the lone savior. That actually shows up in most Christmas movies, looking for the lone savior. Mrs. Santa Claus, Rise of the Guardians.
Nightmare Before Christmas,
Hunt for the
Elf?
Lone Savior.
Christmas
Yeah.
Chronicles.
Right.
The Grinch.
So an action film.
I'm just going through all the movies that we've done here tonight.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus is like a lone savior.
Because
Home
Because
Alone
it's
with living out.
literally Santa.
Arthur Christmas.
Again, literally Santa.
That's a pretty fucking standard Christmas trope, man.
Is Pirates of the Caribbean a Christmas movie? They hunt for a lone savior. They're
Is it centered around Christmas themes?
Die Hard, I would argue, is not centered around Christmas themes.
It
Absolutely
is.
How is
it
it
is-
not?
You're
In almost
twisting an
every
action
single
film.
scene, something
You are
Christmas
twisting the
shows up.
tropes of almost any action film and just going, oh, but now because they're happening at Christmas, It's the same themes of any other action film out there, but because it happens
even
at Christmas.
Fucking jokes and puns are Christmas themed. It was made to be a fucking Christmas movie.
The writer said it was made to be a Christmas movie, and he even comes to argue that
Yeah, but
stupid
the
old movie
creator
White
of
Christmas
GIFs
is
said they
better.
were meant to be GIFs. And yet they are GIFs.
Fuck that guy. We don't talk about the GIF guy.
Your argument going back to, if it needs a white guy in a beard giving presents and elves and blah, 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 and, well, then Lord of the Rings is a Christmas movie. No, it's not, because Christmas is not a thing in that fucking world. In Die Hard, Christmas is a thing. It is a work staff Christmas party.
You know
Have we all
the
had
date that
staff
they
Christmas
leave
parties?
Rivendell?
It's some of the best fucking moments of our lives when we all got drunk with our colleagues.
The date they
Every
leave
moment is
Rivendell
reconnected back.
to go
I'm
off of
just
their
pointing out,
journey.
I have 9.5 days until my work Christmas party, and I'm going to get blind drunk again. So giddy up. That is the point of Christmas work parties.
I think
Oh, dear.
you are against it just because you want to be against it. It's just a pointless fucking argument. Of course it's a Christmas movie.
You want to be the Hans Gruber of this situation. That is why you're against it.
I have a lot of unpopular opinions. It's why
just
I started to
Harry-
hear me out.
Look, I respect the fact that you have your opinions and that you're willing to share them. In most cases, I sometimes can see your point of view. Even with the Boba Fett thing, I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe he's got a point. Maybe that is that pop culture shit coming in, making it, fan service, all that crap.
100%
In this
yes, but still.
situation, you are just wrong. I'm
No,
sorry. you are just
I
fucking
firmly
wrong.
believe that this movie started off as some dude just randomly trolling, going, hey, all of the points you've mentioned, it's a Christmas film. And then it started off as a rolling joke, and it just built up from there because more trolls jumped on the bandwagon.
Fuck no.
Direct
It is
stated.
an action Christmas movie.
It's always
Rise of the
been
Guardians
shown
is the action
Christmas.
Christmas movie.
No.
This is an action
Die
movie set
Hard
at Christmas.
has more Christmas reference.
Hmm?
No.
Die Hard has more Christmas references.
Yes, it does. The entire movie takes place at Christmas time to begin with.
More
It
Christmas
has-
references.
They've actually looked into it. There are a total of 21 separate Christmas references.
And everything
many
you've
reference-
referenced is also in Rise of the Guardians. Everything.
But Rise of the Guardians is very clearly set at Easter.
Yeah.
Because they do the Easter fucking celebration.
Apart from the
and
time
it
it's
gets
set.
fucked up because it.
Yeah, you
Jackson.
can't take one element out that changes the entire movie then, doesn't it? Apart
It's-
from the time it's set, because it's not Christmas.
Well,
so
let's
that
just
doesn't
take
work
out the
my
fact that
argument.
John McClane kills a bunch of people. It's not an action movie anymore. It's now just a pure Christmas movie.
Again, going back to let's go with Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Iron Man 3, Hawkeye, all have big moments set at Christmas. Or the date
Every
of Christmas.
single sitcom has moments at Christmas. How I Met Your Mother, Frasier, Will and Grace, Friends. Doesn't make them Christmas fucking shows.
But they're set at Christmas. They must be.
No, one episode is set at Christmas because they go through the plot of someone's life, and having a realistic fucking
Yeah,
TV
so
show about
one element
6
of this
people,
film is Christmas. It's set at Christmas. Everything else is an action movie trope, which happens to fall
the
in place
entire
and
movie.
coincide
Have
with
you
Christmas.
even seen the fucking movie?
I don't think you fucking
It's
have.
not like they just. It's not like they just go, oh, it's a Christmas party, and now we start shooting people. The entire way through the fucking movie, they're referencing Christmas. I have a machine gun now. Ho ho ho! It's a fucking Christmas pun. They have him fall into the fucking Christmas tree. They could have just had him fall onto the fucking pavement, but no, they put him to the fucking Christmas tree in the original script.
All right.
I'd also like to
more
point
Christmas
out,
music than Rise of the Guardian.
out of all of the Christmas movies in the world, Die Hard is the 22nd most frequently cited movie on all the Christmas-themed IMDb lists.
And I would argue it is because of my thing before, where it's just steamrolled to this prolific global troll, where everyone's jumped on this bandwagon because it's just funny that this happens to be set at Christmas and it's got some tropes.
I have loved Die Hard since I was a little kid and was way too young and inappropriate to be watching it to begin with. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah, bad parody. Yeah.
Woo, for the win, 80s parodying. But it has always been a Christmas movie well and truly before the internet and trolls and tropes became a thing.
Fucking oath.
Well and truly before.
Anyway, for the interest of
And-
time,
You're wrong. Let's just sum it up nicely with a little bow. Kami is wrong.
For the interest of time, because we've hit the 2 hour mark.
Mm.
I know.
Time to vote.
I know for a fact that I am heavily against the grain on that. But it is my opinion. Whether I am
Going,
right or
going against the
wrong,
grain is irrelevant.
whether I am right or wrong,
You're wrong.
I am not saying. I've just shared my opinion and why I have that opinion.
Everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Whether I am right or wrong,
All right.
is not up to me.
Let's
It's up to B, and he's wrong.
Anyway, I want to stress
We
as
have to
well,
vote.
with this kind of argument, this is exactly what we planned on. We're going to leave this just fine. We knew this was going to happen. But anyway, look, moving forward.
I will see Kami in person in 3 weeks. I will slap him across the face, and then we'll be best friends again.
So, look, can we... So we've got, 12 movies. Can we rule out Home Alone?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
We rule out Mr. Santa Claus.
Yep.
How the Grinch
Sorry,
Stole
Ram.
Christmas.
Yep.
What are we ruling out? The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Yep. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3.
We've got to have
4,
everyone
5,
agree.
6, 7, 8,
That's 3
9.
down, so we've got 4 left to cut.
From this, it gets closer to people's hearts. So
I haven't seen Claus, so I'm really hesitant to weigh in, but Tegan slammed it pretty hard. So, happy wife, happy life, and all that.
I would heavily argue in 4 Claus. Let's come back to that one, because that was also on Mitchell's list. That's a 2v2, meaning it doesn't pass. It will fail. Come vote. I get that. I would push for Love Actually to be pushed up.
No.
There's 9 left, and you want that in the group top 5.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. As I
Knowing
said, I
for a
have not
fucking
seen it.
fact that Die Hard's gonna be in there, I'm not having Love Actually in there as well.
No, it's go to vote.
I'm going to word up Sally that she needs to fucking make you watch Love Actually again.
Don't be sexist. It is not a female fucking movie. And
I
Sally
fucking
may or
love
may
that
not like it
movie.
either.
Sally
Can we put that
loves
on tomorrow night?
B, C grade rom-coms.
It's not close enough to Christmas.
Okay.
Not close
That
enough.
one's
That's an unusual term from you.
No,
It's
as
not
in
close.
we can't watch it tomorrow night because it's not close enough to Christmas.
But Christmas season started months ago.
Die Hard gets in my house. Die Hard gets watched on Christmas Eve. Love Actually gets watched the night before.
Got it.
Look,
I will...
as much as I love Christmas Chronicles, I don't know if it's going to stand the test of time.
So okay, removing Christmas Chronicles.
Yep.
That'll
Does
take us
anyone
down to
disagree?
what, 8?
1, 2, 3.
Can I
4,
be
5.
daring enough to potentially remove? That was poor grammar. Muppet Christmas Carol.
No.
Get fucked.
I had to tug at the strings one last time. I couldn't resist.
I would see Arthur Christmas go before Muppets.
And I loved After Christmas, but I'm with Tegan on this one.
As much as I hate to say it, Mitch, that's fair.
Mm.
All right, fine.
I feel really bad for saying this, but again, I haven't seen Claus.
Let's just vote on these last 8 and see what we end up with.
We're down to 7.
What do we take out?
We've got The Nightmare Before Christmas, Love Actually, The Santa Claus, Muppet Christmas Carol, Claus, Rise of the Guardians, Die Hard.
I was going to say
Yeah,
leave
Die
Arthur
Hard.
Christmas in.
Did we just take it out?
No.
I was saying leave it in.
Oh,
Let's vote on these 8.
I'd cut Claus before I cut Arthur Christmas.
Yeah,
Ah.
agreed.
And I'd cut Love Actually before
Yeah.
Claus.
so I think both of those then get cut by default.
Well,
if it's 2v2 for both, they both get cut.
Yeah. That was the rules that we put laid out.
Don't get me wrong. If you want to come at us at a later point and do one of those online streaming things and make us sit down and watch it, then
we're
Sweet.
only reducing. Sorry, Ram.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But yeah, at that point, we may change up the list and post up an updated list of the stream chat top 5. But for
that-
now,
There's only 6 movies left. There's
Wait,
pointless
if they're
voting
going to
here.
argue on an order, we're going to have to remove one more. And of the 6 that remain, there's only one clear option left to remove.
What?
Die Hard. In all seriousness, I would say of the ones left, a mixture of nostalgia versus potential test of time. This is hard. The ones you've got left.
Okay.
Nightmare
Nightmare Before Christmas is an old as fuck movie, but it 100% stands the test of time.
We just need to vote. We're not coming up with criteria. We all just get a vote, yes or no.
So just to name the 6 that are left: The Nightmare Before Christmas, Arthur Christmas, The Santa Claus, Muppet Christmas Carol, Rise of the Guardians, Die Hard.
All right.
They're the 6 left. One has to go.
All right. So we'll start at the top. Nightmare Before Christmas. Kami, for or against?
4.
Tegan,
4.
Rem,
4.
and me, 4. That one's in.
Okay.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Thumbs
4.
up, thumbs down.
Rem,
4.
Kami,
Against.
against?
Your vote, Matt?
I'm voting for. It is the best told version of an absolute classic Christmas story.
Next.
Arthur Christmas.
I'm obviously 4.
Against. It's a great movie, but not for the top 5.
Kami.
Against.
It's
Ooh.
heartbreaking, but I mean, like, it's an older movie. Whether it stands the test of time is the question for me.
It is heartbreaking on that one because it has got all the emotional tropes needed for a good Christmas movie, and I'm voting against because I know I'm not going to make any headway with the others.
All right. So Santa Claus, Kami,
4.
Tegan.
I'm thinking, come back to me.
Rem.
I'd say sadly against. While I enjoyed it, I don't feel it holds up quite as well as the others.
Fair. I'm voting for it. I love that trilogy of movies. It rates up there as one of my top 3 trilogies of movies. Tegan?
The last 2 automatically get in, don't they?
Well, let's see what you say about this one.
Yeah, no, I'm for the Santa Claus.
All right. Rise of the Guardians.
4.
4.
Rem?
I'd say 4, but a neutral 4. So
So like a half.
either way, neutral.
It's a 4 or against.
Yes, but this will also affect where it stands on the list. And while I may consider it somewhere in there, it is not at the top.
Aren't we just voting to see what gets knocked out?
Yes,
Well, I
this
mean,
will
based
also
off this, we're going to have a
further on.
pretty tight, close 5. Top 5. All right. I'm voting for
if I knew this voting was for the ranking as well, I would have potentially voted
not.
different.
It's not, but with
No,
the ones that were
but-
already voted out, Rise of the Guardians and the Santa Claus were always going to be in because there's only 6 movies and 2 were already taken out.
So Die Hard, Kami said yes.
No.
Tegan said yes. Rem?
Fuck you. It is a hard no.
And while I really enjoy it, I will actually be saying no as well for the top 5.
You're saying no for the top 5.
For Die Hard.
So that means we're down to a top 4.
You say Die Hard? You're voting no?
It's in my top 10, but not in the top 5 for Christmas
You are-
movies.
Yes!
This is
Dead
not about
to me,
your
Rem.
personal list. This is about our collective list. And if you don't vote for
Yes.
it, then it's not in. And we've got 4 movies.
That is
In that case,
that's too far
Kami will win. Ram, do you really want to live in a world where Kami wins?
Thank you, Ginger.
He voted no. He voted no.
And we have to go back to the original list of 12 and re-vote and put all the movies back in because now we've only got 4 movies left.
Oh dear. No. Of the 2 that have just been voted out, we re-vote on those 2 to get one of them back in.
No, I disagree. I want Love Actually back in then.
I want Claus back in.
No,
They
if
both
Die
got-
Hard is
they-
not, excuse me, if Die Hard is not in the top 5, then fucking Love Actually will be, and I will fucking walk away if I have to.
So, okay, we're bringing 4 movies back
Now,
to vote
all
on.
of these movies, and yeah,
Well,
you either bring all 12 back and vote properly, or you go with the defaulted list that we've already voted on, which leaves Die Hard in the top 5.
the 3 that we have that were 2 for, 2 against is Arthur Christmas, Die Hard, Love Actually.
And Claus.
Oh, and Claus. Sorry.
So those 4
Claus-
would come back, whereas the others had 3 against.
Yeah, 3 against, I'm fine with keeping
Yeah.
off.
So the 4 that had 2 and 2 we would come back, and I would say we get one of those back in,
Claus
and that
had,
would by default be number 5.
Claus had 2 for, 1 against, 1 veto, technically, because
Basically, yeah.
yeah, just like Love Actually had 2 for, 1 against, 1 veto, because I haven't.
That was an
Really
exact
same.
mirror. So okay,
Yeah.
I propose we have a top 4.
I mean, I feel like Love Actually and Claus miss out just because of the fact that there's 2 veto votes on it.
2 haven't seen it.
Like,
So
if they
what
were
I'd
that
say-
good, we would have all seen it.
Well,
I fucking love Actually.
Yeah.
Love Actually, babe.
No, I'm
What
sorry,
I-
can we go back? Does this mean that Die Hard is not in the top 5?
This means Die
At all.
Hard could come back into. Okay, hang on. Hear me out. So we have a confirmed top 4 with 3, 4 at minimum, right? It means
Which is
that
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas, The Santa Claus, The
Muppet.
Muppet Christmas Carol, and Rise of the Guardians. Right?
with how it stands right now, it'd be number 1 would be Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 2 would be
Yep.
Rise of the Guardians. Number 3 would be The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Hang on. But
And
also,
Santa Claus is in that list.
what
as
is
well.
left in there should not really dictate as to how we vote on another movie either. Die Hard and
Yeah.
Arthur Christmas are what stands, right? In terms of 2v2s.
Yeah.
Right? Therefore, they're the clear 2v2s. One of them would have come back as seeded number 5, and the other 4 we would reorder. Because Arthur Christmas and Die Hard have already been voted out. Therefore, whichever one of those came back would immediately be number 5.
I think we have to look at the standing the test of time thing. Like, Arthur Christmas
It's
is
your criteria.
Hang on.
it's a massive criteria.
Hang on, before we agree, start voting
That's
on
as
what
if
comes.
it's just that's the same argument that Rem was saying. Well, I'm voting against Die Hard because it's not in my personal top 5. It's not about Rem's personal top 5. It's not about Matt's personal criteria.
Hang on.
It partially is because it's our group's decision on what are the top 5. So it is our group deciding these
Correct.
things.
There's only one movie there that would be in my top 5 then.
What in that list?
Yeah,
What movie's in your top 5?
Nightmare.
Fuck, that's a good movie.
But remember, this is a group top 5, not a personal top 5. And
No, but collectively, the biggest argument that we all got flared up over is Die Hard. So it's kind of shitty that it's not in the top
And
5 when
Tegan,
it was
can
a
I just
3v1.
mention, when we were organizing this entire thing, it was you who brought up that this is a very loose group top 5. That it would no way reflect our
the
individual
argument-
ones. And now that yours, by chance, have been voted out of the top 5, you're getting
No.
fired up.
No, 3 of mine are out of the top 5. I'm not getting fired up. I'm getting fired up because it was an argument that was literally went on as the main event 3v1, and now it's not ending up in the top 5, which is stupid to me.
Because
But the
it
argument
is a
was,
Chris-
is it a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
And we
Not
had people
is it in
saying
your
it
top
was a
5?
Christmas movie, not if, yeah, exactly
That's
that.
fine.
Like,
But
I
how
don't
are you
think
going to come back
I
now?
love.
Okay, hang on. Okay, easy way to solve this. Hear me out. Again, we have.
No, because it's going to be your way.
I'm proposing this as an idea.
Oh yeah, Kami's not thrilled. The Die Hard's not making the list.
You don't
What's
have
the
to agree
idea?
with this. I'm proposing an idea. We
I
have
have to agree with the list.
4. You don't have to agree with it. You have to accept it.
No,
There are. I have to accept everyone's views on
The
Die Hard.
is an amazing Christmas movie.
We have 4 movies which, as a group, have been accepted. We have 2 movies that have even votes. Everything else did not make the cut because of whatever reason, either 3v1 negative, or as Matt and Mitch said, there was one each that vetoed it, meaning they should, as Matt said, be left out. Meaning we have a top 4. To get number 5, we would arguably then revote specifically now, rather than getting it in the top 5, voting specifically to get it back into the top 5. And
1v1.
against Arthur Christmas or Die Hard. Does that make sense?
So Kami. Actually, fuck you. Tegan, cast your vote.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Me, I'm gonna vote. Actually, Rem, Arthur Christmas or Die Hard?
I'd sooner say Arthur.
Fucking hell, we're gonna go around in
Still at a
circles.
standstill, which I knew it would be. So how did that achieve anything? Because I can't see Kami voting for Die Hard over Arthur.
We could always leave it on a cliffhanger and specifically state that we have the 1, 2, 3, and 4 down, and number 5 will be announced after Christmas when the 4 of us sit down and literally do an online streaming of Arthur Christmas, Die Hard, Love Actually, and Claws, so that all of us can state that we have seen those. We can give a definitive answer on me for Love Actually.
Kami's not
Matt
going to
for
watch Love
Claws.
Actually because it gave him a bad feeling.
I have another idea. We have a sorry?
Cage match?
We have a confirmed top 4.
Ginger voted for Die Hard.
We have a confirmed top 4. Irrelevant of the order yet, we've got a confirmed top 4. Why
We have
can't
a top
those 2
5.
movies tie for 5th?
Because then there's 6 movies, not 5.
That's right. I think you should look at what your audience is voting for.
Fuck off. I'm not looking at that chat. I know what he's doing.
Ginger says Die Hard. He also says go fuck yourself, mate.
So, what I've seen is the problem here is when it comes to counting votes, when there's an even number of us, it doesn't fucking work.
Well, yeah, look, we've got a confirmed top 4. Let's come back to 5th
And we're
at the
going to
moment.
essentially all fight on top 5.
Let's try and order the top 4. Because I think we can make some headway on that. Yeah?
Well, I mean, we have a fairly well set top 4.
Yeah,
Based
the
on
only one
votes.
that's
So, okay.
kind of in the middle is the third. Which one goes third? Which one goes fourth?
Third and
'Cause
fourth
it's-
is Muppets versus Santa Claus.
So what was number 1?
Number one is
with
Nightmare
everyone
Before
agreeing,
Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Number 2?
Rise of the Guardians.
Yep,
Number 3 and number 4 interchangeable. Is that what we're saying?
that's correct.
Santa
So-
Claus
Santa Claus.
and Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay, let's just vote on 3v4 then. Okay, so we're voting for number 3. Matt.
All right. So the toss up between Santa Claus, the trilogy versus Muppets Christmas Carol. I don't want to vote. This is hard.
Have a think, Mitch.
I would say Muppet Christmas Carol.
Tegan.
Muppets.
Kami?
Well, I said the Santa Claus. So I would vote for that. We're at a stalemate again, aren't we?
I haven't decided yet. Fuck you. This is a hard decision.
So we currently have
We have
two
potentially
Christmas
two
Carol.
stalemates.
We have one for the Santa Claus and one undecided.
No, fuck it. I'm going the spite vote. Muppets Christmas Carol. Fuck you, Kami.
Spite vote. Okay. In this one
So-
circumstance, for both of these tiebreakers, should we throw over to the chat? For both tiebreakers.
What's the second tiebreaker? I said fuck you.
We've got. Oh,
Yeah, we've got Muppet
no.
Christmas
Sorry,
Carol
we got one.
coming in
Okay, we got.
third,
Yeah, okay.
and we've got
I miscounted. Correct. Okay, so Muppet Christmas Carol is number 3. Santa Claus is number 4. For the sake of the
Then-
tiebreaker, we'll throw it to the chat. If by chance there was someone else bloody watching other than Ginger and has a equally fucked up mind like mine, please just vote against Die Hard.
So you're saying vote against Die Hard for the sake of it, as opposed to voting because the other movie is better? Fuck
No,
you,
I
dude. That's
prefer.
bullshit.
I prefer. After
No,
Christmas.
you just said please vote against Die Hard, not vote for the movie that I
Did you hear
actually
everything I
think is better.
prefaced it with?
No, that is just bullshit. I don't care because Ginger's in there and he's already said Die Hard. So
It's a joke.
We win, motherfucker!
So okay, so officially number 1, Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 2, Rise of the Guardians. Number 3, A
Number-
Muppet Christmas Carol. Number 4,
the Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Number 5, Die Hard. After
And
much
that is our
deliberation,
list.
that is our top 5 as a group.
Yes.
Yep.
Which, as we say before, many of us will not fully agree with, but that is a group selection, not a singular selection.
And as I believe Mitch said right back at the beginning, as he was mentioning his very first one, our Christmas lists change all the time.
Yep.
This is a tonight list.
Yeah.
This is not an ongoing, hey, remember that one time way back when we had that list? It's a tonight list.
And once again, even though Kami is completely wrong about Die Hard, we will all remain friends after this because that's part of the agreement.
I think you'll all be very happy to hear that. I'm sure I'm going to get roasted in the comments of all of 5 people who watch this. But anyway.
I wonder how hard it is to set up a comment bot.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Saying a tomato is a vegetable is wrong. Could not be more wrong. Is saying a tomato is a robot.
What?
I'm trying to remember there's this quote from Big Bang Theory.
Anyway. Okay, cool. So we have a top 5, a loose group top 5, which in no way represents our individual top 5. I gotta say, it didn't pan out exactly how I expected that to. I honestly expected Die Hard to be up the top.
No.
It is a good Christmas movie, but it is not the top.
I was gonna say, by
The Christmas
chance, 2 of my top 3 were in the top 2.
I got number 1, baby.
But anyway, besides, moving on. I honestly would love to hear what all of your top 5 movies are in the comments. Zero judgment from us, because you heard us. I mean, as Matt said, we'll have a heated discussion. At the end of the day, it's just a discussion. All still friends. We knew this was going to get pretty heated, but it's all in jest at the end of the day. I'm not articulating that quite right, but you know what I mean.
We are intentionally picking things that we're all going
We
to
are intentionally aggravating each
I am
other.
100%
and-
expecting to get kicked next time Tegan sees me.
We are intentionally aggravating each other, and the fact that what I've taken from this is we are all very passionate about our favorite Christmas movies because we all love this time of year, and
Kami applies rules to other people, but not himself.
I will freely admit, 3 out of my top 5. Well, actually, looking through my list, essentially all of them got kicked out of this list.
I'm sorry, Rem.
Eh.
You go back and watch my stuff, watch what I've been saying. Look at my face, you'll know when I'm just stirring the pot. Or most of the stuff I was saying is stirring the pot. In terms of Die Hard. I doubt anyone who's watching this has watched all the way through to this point and hears that, and anyone who takes everything I've said literally, you're a fool. Just gonna put that out
So,
there.
anybody watching this, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on how good a Christmas movie Die Hard is, just for Kami.
Next Christmas, just for you to see how badly I get absolutely destroyed on the internet, I will put out a video on hear me out as to why I don't believe it is a Christmas movie. And then I will get it'll be the most disliked video I've got on the channel.
Fuck, I could do a 2-hour video and hear us out for that.
But anyway, I don't want to go around in circles, but what I took from this is all of us love Christmas. All of us have our own personal top 5s, and we have our personal top 5s because they mean a lot to us, whether because of plot, story, characters, emotional attachment, or nostalgia. And we have all reluctantly come to a top 5 as a group. And that was the goal. We somehow got there. We didn't find out who the Grinch was, but ultimately, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for clicking on the video in the first place. Thanks for keeping the chat going. But most importantly, thank you for hearing us out.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. We will not be
Ho,
back.
ho, ho. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Most likely will not be back for an I Hear Us Out until next year. I will be posting a video on YouTube between now and then. A number of them, so just keep an eye out on YouTube. But otherwise,
it is currently thrown around that there is maybe a plan to do a Hear Us Out video with
Pokemon
me, Tegan,
on
and Kelly at the same place.
Yep. Anyway,
so he will be well within slapping distance of me.
Alrighty, but anyway,
I'm waiting for him to literally get buried in the couch. So anyway,
I'm Kamilian, and this is my Twitch channel.
I try to end this on thank you for hearing us out, like I normally hear me out videos, and most importantly, thank you for hearing me out. But it failed. We just kept going. Look, thank you for hearing us out. I know that you won't agree with everything we've said, so I honestly want to hear your opinions in the comments. Tell me exactly why I'm wrong. I want to hear why I'm wrong, but I do ask, if you're gonna dislike the video, don't dislike it because I don't like Die Hard. Dislike it because you dislike the video. That's all I ask.
3 of us still like Die Hard.
These guys love Die Hard.
Three like a like, a subscribe, and a nice comment and telling us how shit Calm is for the other 3 of us.
Yeah, that's all I ask. But anyway, regardless of whether you do all that or not, as I said, thank you for hearing us out, and we'll see you all again soon regardless. YouTube and Discord are going to be the places to keep up to date with all my stuff for the moment. Because Twitch will be a bit all over the place coming up to... Why is that not working? Okay. Sorry, my butt's not bloody working. Yep, authorize. Well, this is awkward.
What's your butt doing?
It's not responding to my commands.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Bot, turn on the bot. Why is the bot off? There we go. That's where to keep up to date and everything, but we'll see you all again soon. Until then, thanks for hearing us out.
Merry Christmas!
bye.
Merry Christmas!